now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Button Masters Stable Wars entire playlist. AEW Revolution Go Home Week, Dynamite and Rampage watch parties. Mistress Audio dramatic readings featuring voice actors from Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Elimination Chamber retrospective. All WrestleMania-themed retros by Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play series. WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Let's Play series. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. The entirety of the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Let's Play series. Past and upcoming Jeff Meacham Network watch-along coverage. FTW Productions watch party for WrestleMania Go Home Raw. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Cassidy 18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 7. Our favorite WrestleMania matches. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
The following program contains strong language that is not suitable for young children. Viewer discretion is advised.
JJ, Jeff, you want to kick this thing off? Because I'm still trying to process everything here.
Yeah, it's like,
who wants to go first?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
well,
Come on in. It's open mic night with your host.
you could maybe say there's really 4 topics, but it's split into 6.
The Renegade, JJ Williams.
The Sammy and Eddie Kingston thing, which one's the better smelling turd?
And his panel of co-hosts.
I am the founder. We'll call me that for today since we're going with the Jeff Jarrett love theme here this week, according to JJ.
The West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
Karma is karma is karma.
That's professional wrestling! Damn it!
The Simple Man, Noah Foster.
It's showtime! Yeah! How you doing, JJ? How you doing, Jeff?
James.
Yeah.
And the He-Man, James Hebert.
Imagine Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Paul White, the Baldies. There you go. It sells itself.
God.
Get in there.
Short his ass and shit the bed.
He's not Amber Heard.
Give it time, JJ. Give it time.
Now, I'm sure Jeff has some stuff that
Dumb move. Just don't pull this bullshit again. You get one.
Tony needs to stop caring about the ratings.
Bradshaw said as long as the ads are in place, we're not going to lose that third hour.
Ring of Honor does not have to be AEW Live. They don't necessarily have to coexist with each other. We kind of saw that tonight to a degree.
Along with a panel of guests.
He's no longer glorious. Don't you bring that up. You want me to rant about what my NXT used to... Nope, we are done here for the night. I swear, James.
Because you never know who may show up for open mic night.
I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives.
The first thing that came to my mind was, it's about damn time.
Amen.
I literally touched everybody in the state's trash. So it's horrible, you guys.
Peyton's new thing is Dennis the Menace, but it's funny because she calls it Dentist the Medicine. And
that's great.
When Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
We got it on wrestling, and then you bring in that shit. That's just how the thing goes off the damn rails. Brilliant, bloody brilliant.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. I am your host and moderator here across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, the Renegade JJ Williams. Back to my regular name tonight. The gimmicks are over. And joining me for this, what's probably going to be very intense episode this week, if we're being honest. You know, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there before I bring the panel in. This week's episode comes with a trigger warning because we're going to be talking about one of our topics has to deal with domestic violence and another one has to do with sexual assault, all in and around the wrestling community. So it's going to be a heavy topic. So if those type of things trigger you, we'll see you guys next week for real. You know, I hate to do it like that, but we would rather you guys do as Noah tells you every week and help protect your mentality by not having you sit through those topics rather than you be here and just get triggered off of them. But with that being said, first person I'm going to bring in, the man whose name is on the marquee, the West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
Hey, how we doing, everybody?
Doing well. Wish it was happier topics we were discussing this week, but we can't have sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows every week.
No, they're having the hockey game right now. I guess it's Bailey's birthday, so they got the mascots partying with our buddy Bailey. So good on them. But it's a heavy week. You know, we had the euphoria of WrestleMania. We had the enjoyment of WrestleZania being a thing, thanks to Sammy and Kevin. So now it's back to some real shit. There's been some real shit this week in wrestling. My God,
that's an understatement. Here to help us discuss it, probably one of the best people I know in the IWC, and that's no disrespect to our other panelists this week, but this man knows his lane. He stays in it, and he stays off of social media so that these type of things don't mess with him in a negative way.
Yeah.
The simple man with the spectacular voice, Noah Foster.
Hello.
Good to see you again, my brother.
Good to see you all, too. Hope everyone's doing well and enjoyed their Saturday so far. I did nothing but lay in my bed and watch wrestling. So it's been a nice, simple day as I prepare church service tomorrow.
There we go. And we will be going to Noah at some point this evening to get a little bit of a recap of Sakura Genesis that happened.
Yes.
In the wee hours of the morning for us.
Yes.
So, we do have a couple positive things that we're going to sprinkle in amongst the ingredients today, because we can't have an entire show of Debbie Downer shit.
Yeah, no.
We just can't.
We're going for Walt's chili, not the spicy kill you chili,
Yeah. And speaking of Debbie Downer shit, let's go ahead and bring in the last participant of the panel. The man behind the stats. My brother from another mother. I do love him to pieces. He is Statboy Mike. What is going on?
2 minutes for instigating, my brother. You're going in the penalty box.
Hey, if Connor McDavid can get away with what he did last week with nothing but a whistle blown, Renegade can do 2 minutes.
Just as long as you know is when I come out after that 2 minutes, doing it again.
That's right.
All that 2 minutes does is give me 2 minutes to think of how to insult you better the next time.
That's right. 2 more minutes to think up some good shit.
Right? We got Gabrielle in the chat room. Hello to you.
Oh, man.
Before we even went live, our good buddy and viewer Daniel put a ton of comments in here for us. So let's go ahead and run through these.
As he do.
He said, first of all, I'd like to apologize for anything I said last Sunday on the WrestleMania Night 2 coverage. As of now, I'm no longer going to watch the main roster shows, but I will still watch NXT and PLEs if I'm able to watch them. Also, I'm going to be away when this goes live. I have to pick up my oldest nephew from work and then go to the local movie theater with some dear friends to watch the Super Mario movie. I've heard that's really good. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yes.
Not on my new release Saturday for this month. Me and Cece have kind of started concocting a video game month.
Ooh.
Yeah, you think about the Tomb Raiders, you think about The Rock's Doom, you think about the Double Dragon movie and the original Mario with Bob Hoskins, the new one, the Sonic movies. There's a lot of stuff. Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Do I have to think about the Doom movie? Do I have to?
It is what it is.
Even Dwayne says it is what it is. So there you go.
Daniel then went on to say he'll catch up on this later on the replay. Have a great show. And also, I had to stop someone I know where I live from planning a Roman Reigns merch burning party today.
Wow.
Telling them not to go through with it because it'll just add to the problem. I just said to them, if you don't like the current product, don't watch it. Take a break like I am. Good thing I'm only taking a break from WWE main roster shows until it gets better. Also, JJ, the time I'm going to see the Mario movie is at 11 my time, so he may or may not be back before open mic night is over.
There you go.
So there we go. Like I said, we got a long book there from Daniel, but we appreciate the support.
Yes.
Sam is in the house. Hello, Ryan. Hello. Matthew echoes the sentiment about how Mario is a fantastic movie. The Tornado says, screw Roman. Hope he loses sooner rather than later. Hope Cody wins Money in the Bank and cashes in. Burn all the Roman merch. Just do it.
Jesus, man. People
some heavy opinions coming out of SummerSlam. Trust and believe we will get to Roman and his victory when we talk about the sale and everything. That's going to be our second topic. Believe it or not, the sale of WWE is not our main event. No.
Renee.
That's the Guerrero family drama that's been going on over the past week. So the WWE sale, believe it or not, is only the semi-main event. Yeah. That's just how crazy this week has been. Like when that broke on Monday, you would have probably figured, oh, that's got to be the main talk point.
Yeah.
And then shit went down on Tuesday. But before we get to all that,
yeah,
gentlemen, are we ready?
Oh, ready as I'm gonna be, brother.
All right.
Just remember, 364 days to WrestleMania, kids.
Okay, before we get to that, Sam says he's looking for a business inquiries email to contact you.
All right. I'll put a comment in the chat room he can link off of.
Fair enough. Okay, so our opening topic tonight has to do with Davey Richards. And this actually broke, believe it or not, back on March 17th. And it's just kind of been sitting there as a talking point because I never really had a way to work it in. Things were already, crazy going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And the karaoke show and everything else. So just kind of sat on the back burner a little bit. But apparently multiple promotions are cutting ties with Davey over domestic violence allegations.
Jeez.
The Team Ambition Wrestling Academy out of St. Louis announced back when that article was posted that they are formally and permanently parting ways with the 40-year-old. Their press release said, the decision has been made for Team Ambition to formally and permanently part ways with Davey Richards. In the coming months, Team Ambition, including the Professional Wrestling Academy, will be undergoing some changes and rebranding. We remain dedicated to making the St. Louis professional wrestling scene, as well as professional wrestling as a whole, better and stronger. We want to thank everyone sincerely for their ongoing support. As a result, St. Louis Anarchy and Wrestling Prestige cut their ties with them, canceled them from his shows, to the point where Davey went on to release a statement to PW Insider. And he said, hello, everyone. Wow, what a couple of days. There are allegations of domestic violence against me. The allegations I adamantly deny, and if you look on CaseNet in Missouri under my name, Wesley David Richards, you'll see there are no charges filed against me. However, I do understand the industry's stance on this matter. Everyone should feel safe at shows, and I do not want to be the person who damages that. The pic being posted of my wife's eye is from training, and we regularly train in martial arts, as many of the students have got black eyes and such. Again, no charges were filed, and I deny these allegations, but I must do what is right and not what I want. So I am canceling myself. This great sport is far too wonderful for anyone, including myself, to tarnish it. I will wrap up my shows this weekend, and I will be retiring from professional wrestling. Please continue to support Team Ambition and the sport. Davey. A lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all crooked.
Jeff, go ahead and go first, because I feel like you and I, Statboy probably coming in second, have the longest tenure with Davey.
Yeah, it's Davey was in the main event of the only indie wrestling show I actually got paid for to work. So there was that back in 05. He's been around a long while, and people realize he's been doing this for a long time. You know, him and Eddie were champions a long time ago, years ago now at this point. God, it's such a fine line we walk in society now with, canceling of everybody on social media and the way, things are acknowledged, interpreted, and laid out there for the world to see. We'll talk about that in our main event. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But Davey denies the claims. And again, forgive me, were the claims posted online by his significant other?
That part isn't revealed in the article.
Okay. So my thing is, he's out there saying that she received the bruises or the scars or whatever in training, and there's been no disputing of that we know of in the time since the article was posted. So if it was a situation where he's choosing to cancel himself, but she's not out there, saying, he's saying one thing that the charges aren't true. He's just choosing to remove himself and his alleged toxicity from wrestling. This is going to sound like I'm, copying out, but I tend to side with Davey. It's, he made the right decision for wrestling, which doesn't happen a lot. People just sit there and gut it out at the detriment of the company that's booking them, at the detriment of the business as a whole. And Davey's like, nah, I'm saying it's not true. I deny the allegations rather than drag wrestling through the mud, even though it's, damn near freaking Artax at this point, stuck in the mud and can't go nowhere except die on screen. Cause I'm traumatizing like that. I'm all right with Davey doing it, because he's making the right decision for the business rather than his own selfish, needs. Because, in the few times I got to interact with Davey in person and the times we got to work, at the same shows, I don't see him as anything but a straight shooter and a non-bullshitter. So I tend to agree with, I tend to, believe what he says. Having said that, this, society is so quick to jump on something once it's out there. And I think it's a shame that a talented sumbitch like Davey Richards has to cancel himself to preserve companies. Prestige runs out here on the regular. Would have loved to have seen him if we got to go to we didn't get to the WrestleMania weekend show like we planned, but it'd be cool to, know he's coming back, and now we know he's not, and it sucks. From a fan standpoint, it sucks. From a fellow, indie personality standpoint, it sucks even more.
Yeah. I mean, I hate the fact that our society has morphed into guilty until proven innocent instead of being innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And it seems to be happening more and more, and especially in professional wrestling. We had a nice conversation, and that's putting it sarcastically, last year about Joey Ryan and everything that went down with him. And much like Davey, no charges have ever been legally filed against him.
Right.
He's never been proven guilty of anything in a court of law. I'm still of the mindset that these gentlemen should be able to work until such time that at the very least charges are being filed against them. Once that legal action is taken, by all means, pull them from shows, but if they're proven innocent in a court of law, allow them back.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that our society, with the movements that have sparked up as of late within the last, we'll say, 5 years, don't allow that to happen anymore.
No. Again, forgive my ignorance. Forgive my state of how I feel considering what's going on here. Did Joey outright deny all the allegations against him at the time? Okay.
He went on to YouTube and posted like a 1-hour video.
Oh, that's right.
Because I sat through and I watched it all, where he brought up emails, text messages, receipts.
Okay.
Proving his side of things.
Okay.
Noah, we'll throw to you next because Statboy looks like he's got pad and paper in hands, like he's been taking notes. So I'm sure he's going to have something interesting to say at the end of this one. Your thoughts, Noah?
It's one of those things that I don't really follow or feed into all of this. At the end of the day, a person knows whether or not they're responsible for their own actions and how they handle them as their own doing. Whether or not we agree with their actions is a whole nother perspective to the entire insight that is the sensitivity of the internet wrestling community that likes to spin 450 different narratives for their own either attention or for their own self-gratification. For Davey Richards, I think it's very wise that he got away from the very machine instead of feeding into it, because at the end of the day, it would just be a domino effect. It would affect the companies, it would affect the fan base, it would affect other wrestlers, it would affect other wrestling couples, it would affect others that are some sort of relationship or some sort of training background with Davey Richards, with Ambition Academy, or with his wife. At the end of the day, until I see or officially hear some sort of court case, seeing is believing, but I don't need to know everything. Curiosity killed the cat. That's another reason what's so wrong with today's society. You wonder how much of this would actually be at the forefront of conversation if it wasn't for the fact that the internet wrestling community exists, or Twitter for that matter. I hope that everything works in the end for Davey Richards and all affected parties. May those that do the injustice get what they deserve, and may those that are innocent be found out and be able to move forward. For Davey Richards' wrestling career, I'm not sure if it's a curtain call, but if it is, thanks for everything. And hopefully you are deemed innocent for whatever transgressions you might be accused of. Whether or not you are actually guilty and you're just, hiding underneath the sheets, per se, that's a whole different story. Whether or not you're, hiding away from the publications, a whole nother thing. Again, I don't look at the side of the community. I don't look at a lot of this stuff. Wrong is wrong, and you should know when you're doing wrong. If David Richards is doing wrong and this is his way of not admitting it, but getting away from it, that's his own doing. I have no right to judge. But hopefully those that have been wrong, justice will be served.
Fair enough. I mean, the quote does go, only God can judge us. So that's definitely something to keep in mind as we move through with all of these topics here tonight and every week on Open Mic Night, if we're being real.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question, Jeff, before I throw things over to Statboy, because I know you would probably be the one to go to about this. Something that's been kind of running through my mind. Did Davey ever fight Rick Ellis, to your knowledge? Because that would have been a banger of a match right there with their styles.
No, I'm 99% sure I saw that match, maybe even live. It's just, 19 years, a long time to have memory go back. So, but I'm pretty sure I saw Rick and Davey work. I'll have to go back and look in the archives, but I'm almost positive it happened. I'm even more positive I was there for it. So I'll go back and look while we're in the process of this today.
Good man. Thank you for that. Normally that would be a great question for Statboy, but Statboy don't know Rick Ellis the way you know Rick Ellis. So.
No, I don't know Rick Ellis.
Only one of the three most awesome people I got to manage during my brief sojourn into the chaos of it all.
Nice.
So Statboy, bring us home here. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Okay. Domestic violence in general is, for me, one of the top 5 worst crimes ever, in my opinion. Okay? The other 4 being murder, sexual assault, child abuse, and drug dealing. Okay? Murder, you don't just walk up and kill somebody for no reason. Okay? A killing for the sake of killing. Okay? Just walk up, boom, dead, done. Why'd you kill him? Because I can. Okay? If you know, you know. sexual assault, no means no. Deal with that, okay? If they say no, walk away. And don't just keep it in your pants, damn it. Problem solved. Domestic violence, a husband should never hit his wife, a wife should never hit her husband, okay? I mean, it's love, honor, and obey, not try and beat the shit out of each other. I'm sorry, okay? You know, child abuse, bottom line, you have a child, the child is innocent. Now, I'm not going to say don't discipline the child, but don't smack the shit out of them either. Otherwise, they turn out like me sometimes, which I deal with on an almost weekly basis. Rant over on that one. And the drug dealing, you know, that's just pure, that's killing people, you know, but I don't want to get into that. So with Davey, you know, flat out saying, you know, he has an alibi, I guess, or he has a description of what happened. He trains with his partner. Something must have happened. She got hit in the eye. She has a black eye. Okay? So, yeah, and yes, there are two sides to every story. So, right now, we have Davey's side of the story. This is what happened. We were training. She accidentally got hit. Here's the result.
Yep.
Okay? Now, do we know this person's name? Do we have the partner's name?
No.
No. Okay. The next logical step would be if she is not the one bringing up these allegations, come forward and confirm it. Yes, we were in the ring. Yes, we were on the mat. Yes, I didn't duck. Yes, he hit me in the face. Yes, he kicked me in the face, and this is the result. Bottom line. Now, again, you know, speculations, allegations, we don't know all the story. Now, in a way, also, Davey, I can commend Davey for this, for, you know, saying, I don't want my legacy to be tarnished. I want people to know me as a wrestler, not as a person accused of domestic violence. He is, you know, staying out of the limelight, staying out of the spotlight, settling his personal affairs, because, you know, personal versus professional, personal versus sport, personal versus character. So the people that are automatically canceling him, all these promoters, you know, again, guilty until proven innocent, innocent until proven guilty. That's the wrong call. Let him have his day in court. You know, this is just like Johnny Depp and the defamation trial and Disney. You know, it's not right. You know, it's like it's like also going into sports, the Kobe Bryant Sprite situation. You know, Kobe gets into a little bit of trouble. He's the face of the company. Oh, we don't want that. We don't care if he's guilty or not. We're pulling him. You can't have Kobe associated with Sprite because he's guilty. Hands down, bring down the sword. So I can agree with Davey doing that. Of course, you know, if the story is out there and the story is proven and he wants to walk away and he wants to be done and he's had a good career, okay, take your break. You deserve it. You've worked a long time for it. You know, take your break, rest, be done. And then, of course, all these people, you know, deserve an apology from all the people that have given you the boot, you know. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to a positive ending in this, because it's touchy, but I think it'll work itself out.
That's what you're going to hope for.
Jeff, I saw you raise your hand during Mikey's speech. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, just really quick, I'm not sure if Davey Richards' partner ever shit the bed, nor do I think Davey was making money like on Sprite like Kobe Bryant was. But anyway, I'm just guessing on the shit the bed thing. I don't live with Davey, so I don't know about that.
Damn it.
But anyway, it's part of the opening. I might as well keep the gimmick going. You said no more gimmicks. I call bullshit, Mr. Williams. Anyway, October 24th, 2010. Davey Richards not only faced Rick Ellis, but defeated him for the West Coast Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
There you go.
Well, he's doing my job for me.
With a certain Christian Rosenberg as the referee, lest we forget, and with Rick going in with a torn ligament and a dislocation in his kneecap going into the match. And they still went damn near 15 minutes.
Right.
That's why he is a certified badass, damn it all. Thank you very much. And the one bad part about that is that I was already gone from the various companies, so I wasn't at Rick's side walking out there. But Jameson Stafford was one of our other legacy stablemates. So even in defeat, he still looked like a badass.
All right. So if there's nothing else to add to that topic, we'll move right along here.
I mean, where do you go from shit in the bed and talking about Sprite commercials again? I mean, that's got to move on. So.
We go to a positive little bumper here before I throw to commercial.
Yes.
You know, like I said, with all the negative topics, with the triggering topics, I tried to find something a little bit positive to throw into the stuff here.
Yes.
Noah and I briefly touched on this for the Sunday post WrestleMania open mic night that we did. We kept very brief, but
there you go.
Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels went to his Twitter, posted this lovely picture of him, Scorpio Sky, and Frankie Kazarian, and said, "So glad these two could be there at my induction to the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame today. I'm fortunate to have such close friends that have supported me for so long. Hashtag SCU SoCal Uncensored for life." It's kind of cool to see them all cleaned up like that, looking sharp.
Good stuff.
Well done. Well deserved.
You clean up nicely here in SoCal with us wrestling folk every once in a while, you know.
You know, you get like a special occasion, and I feel it just kind of, speaks for itself that you should do a little bit more with your average, everyday, whether in-ring or out-ring appearance.
It was really, I was saddened. Still, I am sad that I couldn't be there for the ceremony because I wanted to be there. I love those boys so much, all three of them. I always will.
I would have loved to have been there for that too, and your good friend Excalibur went in the same class, so
Yeah, I know. You know what though? I'm not Excalibur's biggest fan. That's no secret. But the people that run the Indie Hall of Fame feel he deserves it. So I'm not going to be that guy on his day. Different day.
That's fair.
I'll shit on him like I shit the bed earlier. But other than that, it's
the one name in that class that really kind of caught me off guard was like, I've never seen that person wrestle, but I remember that name. Mike Modest.
Right? Yeah.
Again, for those of you that have seen Beyond the Mat, Mike Modest is one of the guys in the very beginning that got the audition, along with, I want to say the other gentleman's name was Tony Jones.
Something like that. Yeah, they were both rolling projects through APW.
Yep. And they got the audition with WWF.
Yes.
Before, Rock told us to get the F out.
Yes. Yes.
And so seeing him on there was like, dude, that's pretty cool. Like if I had known that and been able to be there, I would have had him sign a copy of Beyond the Mat.
It was cool to hear Mike was going in again, working with APW the couple times I did. Mike was part of the fabric of that company, to be blunt. Very cool to see him, part of that process. But yeah, him, Excalibur, Chris, I forget who else is in the class, so forgive me, but it was one of those.
Melissa.
Oh, that's right, Mel. God, I forgot. Damn. Yeah, that's probably the one event I regret missing the most all weekend because I got to go to the Sam thing on Wednesday, which was an experience. And Meet and Taker was so freaking cool. But I had people that work marking out for that one. Put it that way. Everybody's
I totally understand. I mean, that was a hell of a moment.
Yeah,
that a lot of people are jealous at, including people on this panel.
Yeah,
but I digress. Buy the T-shirt. We all know I did.
I don't market myself.
Definitely.
No, Jeff markets you.
I know.
Right. I acknowledge you, spectacular voice.
God bless you.
Let's see here. But yeah, I am so happy for Chris. There's very few people in SoCal that started in SoCal, got as big as he did in so many different companies, and even as an extra for WWE all these years later, he's appeared enough times where it's like, oh yeah, he did that one thing for WWE. But God, TNA and Ring of Honor, talk about a Ring of Honor pillar. Hello, right. Christopher Daniels is probably the most deserving guy coming out of SoCal, one of the most deserving people, period, for being the person he is. Let's not even forget that. Those three guys in that picture are three of the best people I know. Period. End of sentence.
Yeah.
If they're a decent human being and still involved in Wrestling Hall of Fame, those guys get first ballot, which is so friggin' rare.
Yeah. Agreed. Mikey, I saw your hand go up once or twice there. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Something I just saw. I know it's way off topic. I'm going to apologize. Jeff, is your dad at the Kings game?
I think he went. Yeah, because we're here. They're at Staples tonight. So I'm pretty sure he's there. Yeah.
I think I saw him just on the live spot just then, but off topic. I know
he was probably walking behind the shot, going to get himself to take a leak or grab a beverage downstairs.
No, he was eating a hot dog.
All right.
That's all. I think it's your dad. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Excalibur. Oh, that's right, Jimmy and Paul. God, man, that's a hell of a class right there. Wow. Wait a minute. Did they had Orange Cassidy induct Excalibur?
Looks like it, yeah.
Isn't that like
whatever?
Whatever, I guess. It's probably the most Cassidy's spoken since the Jericho Cruise. There is that. But good for them. It's again, that's a hell of a class. Last year's class was deserving. I mean, you had Jerry Lynn in that class. So many quality people that may not get the WWE Hall of Fame like big showcase, but that stage, they're
definitely a deserving class.
Absolutely, both years so far. Yes. Bravo to the folks at the Indie Hall of Fame.
There we go. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Yeah. When we come back, we're going to get into what I know a lot of people are here to hear us talk about.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about the sale of WWE to Endeavor. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss out on that.
Yes.
So there you
Ringo
have
Starr.
it.
Oh, by the
Well,
way, bot from earlier, you said SummerSlam, it was WrestleMania. Anyways, continue.
I did.
Yeah,
you did.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
I
That
don't
is what,
even remember what I was talking about. Leave it to Noah to call a botch like 10 minutes after the fact.
all right.
Who
But
am I
I
to interrupt the
digress.
conversation? Anyway. Let's see here.
So the breaking news, of course, this week, WWE sold to Endeavor, which is the parent company of the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Interesting.
Together, we will be a $21+ billion live sports and entertainment powerhouse with a collective fan base of more than 1 billion people and an exciting growth opportunity, said Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Now, just for perspective here, Vince bought the WWF from his dad for $1 million in 1982 and stands to gain $9.3 billion following the sale this past week. You know, say what you want about his Gomez Adams mustache, but
Oh, I plan to.
the man knows how to turn a profit. And
That's
at
an
the
insult
end
to
of the
Gomez.
day, it is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Stat boy, I'm gonna let you go first this time. You know,
Yeah, okay.
from one hideous mustache to the other.
Hey, whoa. My hideous mustache was epic, okay? Yeah, the elephant in the room. I am...
So that would be the magician elephant, which went live today on Renegades Reviews.
Cheap bug.
Yeah, I know. I am waiting for Vince McMahon to put on a white suit and start shooting some yayo around here because he looks like a cheap Colombian drug lord with that god awful pencil.
It's Vicente McMahon. Ole!
Well, let me just say this one thing: at 9.3 million or 9.3 billion, there's nothing cheap about it.
I was gonna say.
Whereas most expensive mustache.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and the jet black hair. Okay, Vince, there are 80-year-old people that look better than you right now. Okay, I'm sorry. It's who had there's somebody that refused. Bob Barker refused to dye his hair. He let his gray hair, and he still looked good. Okay,
Respect.
Much respect to that. But I mean, the sale. Okay, the sale we knew was coming, and I want to thank Triple H for coming out on Monday and assuring the fans that WWE is not going anywhere. Okay, so I am not really affected by this sale. It's not like, oh my God, the WWE is going away. No, that's not going to happen. Okay, and he didn't just do it for the money. He did it for a shit ton of money. If you know, you know.
He did it for The Rock. He did
You
it
wish.
for the people.
You wish.
No, not that.
No, he did it because Triple H paid a bunch of money and ran his ass over, and that's exactly what happened here. The fans got ran over by this sale. So there you go.
But
No, because to Mikey's point,
No,
I
I
think
know.
everybody knew the sale was impending, and we knew they weren't going to announce it before WrestleMania.
No, of course not.
You know, the WWE calendar year always starts the night after WrestleMania. That is January 1st for the WWE, and WrestleMania is New Year's Eve.
All begins again.
So,
Everything
you know-
builds up to that point. So continue, Mikey.
So like I say, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm not going to turn off WWE Peacock. I have not been in the UFC game for a long time. I mean, I think maybe the mid 2000s or the early 2000s, I was really into UFC, and sadly, I've fallen out of it.
I
If
feel like
this
we
league-
stopped following it once Brock came back, and we only
Second
kind of when Brock left UFC to come back to WWE
Right.
after his condition, whatever it was. And then
Yeah.
we kind of half-ass paid attention when Ronda fought, but otherwise we weren't like invested like we were prior.
Yeah, I think Ronda actually losing to Holly Holm and that was the last major UFC thing. I mean,
Now, I remember watching Holly's defense because everyone thought that she deserved that belt, that she deserved to beat Ronda, who had successfully defended it like 6 or 8 times, whatever it was. And then Holly Holmes lost it in her first defense. So
right.
she ended up
So
being
she's
a
not
fluke
really-
champion.
Yeah, because in the UFC, you're not really a champion until you defend your belt.
Mm-hmm.
And so, could there be like an official, proper UFC WWE event, unlike when they went over to Saudi and they did something? They think they did something with Cain Velasquez, I believe it was. Could we see some of the WWE stars in the octagon? Sure. I mean, why not? I mean, when the whole Shamrock thing happened, that's probably when UFC first got on WWE's radar, and it just took them 20, 30 years to finally make it official, and that's when everyone started tapping out. And, you don't win by submission, you win by tap out. So, I'm all for it. I'm going to stick with Triple H's, trust the process. They're not going anywhere. I want to see maybe more of a WWE presence at a UFC event, but I don't think that UFC superstars are going to get entrance videos. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
WWE stars don't even have entrance videos anymore.
Exactly. It's just a name now. So, but yeah, I'm all for it. I'm happy, except for Vince's look. That needs to change big time. Get rid of the stash. Let your hair color be natural. Go back to maybe the Frank Sinatra haircut that you had when you got shaved back in the day. And take your money and be happy and give us some of it back. I don't know. Drop $1 billion on live feeds. No, not Brawl for All 2.0. No, make it more UFC. Look at Riddle. Riddle's a former MMA star. Put him back in the octagon. It could happen now.
Bro.
Exactly.
Plug all of a sudden.
I mean, I think the big concern for a lot of people, and I'll throw it to Noah from here, I think the big concern with a lot of people about the sale is Vince McMahon back in the behind the scenes. Ari Emanuel, the owner of Endeavor, really wanted Vince to be in the trenches again, so to speak. And while Vince said in the press conference that he's not going to be, digging through the weeds like he did back in the day, he is going to be back involved in creative. And Triple H has done an outstanding job for the better part of the last year in turning the WWE product around with the creative direction that he's taken things. And I think most people's concern is that it's going to backslide. And we kind of saw a little bit of that on Raw. Vince was very hands-on in Raw, and it was noticeable. Segments were cut. Superstars weren't on the show that were supposed to be. And it doesn't smell good, especially for all the names that Triple H has brought back in that year. Braun Strowman, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, just to name a few. Bray Wyatt. What's going to happen to all those people that signed deals to come back under Triple H thinking that Vince McMahon was gone? And now it's Guess who's back? Back again. Vinnie Mac. Run away. Yeah. Like, for real. Noah. The puck is in your zone, good sir.
I don't watch hockey. Or
Adrian
UFC.
Kempe just scored a goal.
What? So Vince brought another company and is a multi-billionaire even more than before. Okay, that sounds normal. That's Vince McMahon. That's the businessman. Vince slowly recreating what he did for the last decade plus that drove away a fan base in the first place, starting with Monday Night Raw and petering into SmackDown. Okay, well, that's the reason why I watch everything else wrestling. I mean, again, good for him. At the end of the day, he's about one thing. He's about business at the end of the day. Business, 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 business. And now he finally sold his number one business venture, but he still is at the head of it. As far as I'm concerned, you're just waiting for an Octagon or a Power Slide to become part of the WWE product. So we'll see what crashes and burns first, whether it's the fan base or the WWE superstars. Either way, if Vince resumes the creative chair, it was a fun Cinderella story while it lasted since last year's SummerSlam. It doesn't change my overall aspect when at the end of the day, I'm still going to support the hardworking men and women that are there to make a living for their family, especially for the big shows. But it also doesn't change the fact that I'm still not going to follow the weekly product. Either way, congratulations to Vince. Now he's got more money and more power than even he probably knows what to do with. But honestly, at this point, he virtually might be unstoppable. He'll own the world before the year is out. All he's got to do is merge with Disney.
Hey, don't put any ideas into the mouse's head.
Oh, we already know it's tempted. As soon as Stephanie McMahon talked about it, we already knew that's in the playbook somewhere. It's just not known to Jeff, who's worked underneath the mouse now. That's all.
We own the world. We'll taint your children.
We're here in the world to make a better place, but just for us. Anyway.
But you
all right, Meacham. You purposely did not jump into the deep end on this topic on this is Open Mic Night. The No DQ review. There we go. That's the one I was thinking of. And talk wrestling.
Right, because I figured it would be extrapolated on here. I wanted to give my 2 cents, but didn't want to, in case I was able to be here, which nature had its way of making me be here. Thanks a lot, you bunch of... it is what it is. For perspective, put that graphic up for me with Vince and Vincente for me.
Vince and Vincente.
I think it's the greatest thing ever. I'm going that name until he shaves that piece of shit off for real. I'm gonna do it. All right. $1 million in 1982 that he paid to the old man, Gorilla, and everybody else. For perspective, that would be equivalent to $3,117,512 roughly. I mean, granted, approximately $1 million, right? So he paid $3 million in 2023 dollars, and he's making $9.3 billion off of this sale. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. That's exponential value and growth of a product. It is unbelievable how little this is really being talked about. Okay, here's the first one of the night. We're an hour in. This is a big fucking deal. Like, if nothing else, if the products don't change, if the basic presentations don't change on either side of the corporate fence, Vince made a profit of how many billions in the 40 years of developing this product? Not that he wasn't going to already, but if he wanted to, he could just go back on one of them private islands out there in the Northeast where the Kennedys reside and just go, yeah. But he won't, because it's been talked about all week. We're even talking about it on a few specials I watched. He's still, even now, the hardest working dude in the industry, besides this guy. Because Noah's the hardest working guy in any industry because he's on 45 streams a week, and God bless him for it.
Damn right.
Damn right. And he's ours. You can't have
maniacal
him. You can't have him.
Maniacal laugh.
That's right.
There. Now I'm all set for Sunday.
All right then. So we can't overstate the importance of this. And Matt makes a great point. Vince Sr. had the money he had running the territory in the Northeast. He is legitimately Vincent K. a self-made. Granted, he had a staff. Granted, he had people working for him. Dude's a self-made billionaire in America in the 20th century. You don't see a whole lot of those. There's a lot of corporate people, including his buddy that's going to go up the river here soon. But, you know, Vince did it, and in a lot of ways on his own. That's pretty cool. As far as the actual implications of the sale, yes. They're under the same umbrella. And to clear things up, especially in the NoDQ.com comment sections of the articles, Vince is the executive chairman of the parent company now. He is Dana's boss, whether anybody in UFC likes it or not. So, I love Dana. I think UFC is a tremendous product. I think the presentation has improved exponentially since the days of, you know, watching the videotapes in my graphic arts class in high school because I didn't have shit else to do because these damn classes in the world, where these guys were literally bare knuckle freaking cockfighting pretty much in these cages, right? So much different presentation now, and that's a lot. Most of that's Dana and then people working for him. So big props. But, you know, with WWE and UFC under the same corporate umbrella now, I am even more going to make the attempt to get to Mania next year and take the kiddo and do the history tour thing for school and all the things that are in Philadelphia. But I want to see what happens in a year. They're going to take a full year to get back for WrestleMania. They're going to be back in one of their strongholds that even Vince Sr. had, Philadelphia. They ran the Spectrum there for decades. So I'm looking forward to going back to Mania and seeing where this all leads in a year. Very much looking forward to both companies continuing to thrive and even grow, because that's anything but that will be looked at as a failure across the board.
It's fair.
And yes, Vincente, ole. There you go. Very good.
A lot of people said that Vince was involved in the finish of the main event of night 2.
Yeah.
A lot of people say he had his hands in Brock's part of Raw.
Right.
Depending on who you believe and what you believe.
Yeah.
Go, Henry.
It was stated that it was always the plan for Cody to lose to Roman.
Yep.
And it was always the plan to have what happened on Raw happen on Raw.
Yep.
Because you figure Roman's going to take his hiatus.
Yes.
They've got to give another main event caliber talent for Cody to feud with in Roman's absence.
Absolutely.
And I want to go back to night 2 of WrestleMania for a moment here with the whole McMahon sale and everything.
Okay.
And specifically, I want to go back to the press conference here.
Which was so good.
Because there was stuff that was said at the press conference that just like really, really resonated with me. And while I already acknowledged my tribal chief.
Yes.
While I already am clamoring to get a spot on the island of relevancy.
Yes.
There was some stuff said that I think really needs to be taken into people's thought processes here.
Proper context, yes.
If this is baseball, we're just in the 3rd inning. There is so much left to do. We said it for a long time. We are just scratching the surface. I told you all, a month after we came back in 2020 at SummerSlam, that we are going to change the whole game. We are not going to follow suit. We are not going to run it like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. We are going to have to expand you people. We're going to have to open up your attention span. You're going to have to pay attention for longer than 20 seconds because that's what we are doing. We are here making filet mignon. This ain't McDonald's. This ain't Burger King. It's not fast food. We are giving you the good stuff, and I meant it.
Yep.
Which
He's not
brings
wrong.
me to this quote that I found. Results happen over time, not overnight. Work hard, stay consistent, and be patient. What
If a
was
lot
the
of management
tagline?
people would understand that.
What was the tagline of the main event of night 2?
Are you asking us directly to say it
Yes.
on unison or just somebody just say
Somebody speak.
All right, finish the story.
Finish the
Okay.
story. Yeah.
For everybody here except for Jeff. In fact, no. I'm going to go to Stat Boy for this one. The statistician here. When Cody came back on Raw the night after WrestleMania last year, he showed a picture of his father. Do you remember
Yes.
where that image was taken from?
I would want to say MSG.
Correct.
Okay.
Madison Square Garden, September of 1977.
Yep.
Dusty's Phantom title victory, holding the WWF Championship over his head. Finished the story July 7th, 2023, SmackDown at the Garden. Less than a week after Money in the Bank. You're hearing it here first. What does Jeff always say? It's not hard to
It's not hard to book, it's just hard to finance.
Cody wins the briefcase in London, cashes it in at the Garden, recreates that image, and we have finished the story.
And
Roman got to his 1,000 days.
Yeah.
Cody wins the title the same place his dad thought he won the title, and finishes the story.
All a matter of what if, JJ. It sounds like a wonderful finale, but it all comes down to Vince McMahon having a good stick and sticking to that booking.
Good evening, Colin. Good for you to join us. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it seems so obvious to me. You know, everyone thought the obvious answer was WrestleMania, but just a little bit of digging, and then just a little over a week after that, July 17th, Monday Night Raw will be in Atlanta, Georgia, where Cody Rhodes hails from.
We'll see.
We will see indeed.
You got Backlash and King of Queen of the Ring in the meantime from Saudi Arabia.
That's a fair point, Anthony. But when you figure it's the SmackDown post a pay-per-view, PLE, odds are Roman will be there for that.
Yeah, except for last night.
Okay, but we all knew post-Mania he was taking his hiatus. By the time that comes around, he will be well back from that.
All right. Again,
Mark
plans
my
to-
words, you heard it here first. Open mic night, April 8th, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiversa Media, about an hour and 10 into the video. Timestamp that shit.
We'll see.
And if it comes to fruition, James, I know you're not here, but you'll watch it back. This damn sure better be in the fucking highlights.
For historical perspective as well, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
If Roman gets to Money in the Bank and the SmackDown after at the Garden, he will have surpassed Pedro Morales
Mm-hmm.
to make him
Top 5
in that top 4 all time. Because Bruno, both of Bruno's reigns are in the top 2. And then Hogan. Backlund, excuse me, Backlund.
Backlund, actually, Bob Backlund.
Because Hogan's first reign has already been, no,
surpassed.
No. Hogan would be number 4. But all time cumulatively, Roman would be top 4 in that case because Bruno's combined 2 or 4.
Gotcha.
But Bruno, either both reigns, Backlund and Hogan. Roman's touching territory that nobody has touched in our fandom's lifetimes in this room, damn near our lifetimes, period.
Yep.
That's some heavy shit.
That's fair.
And JJ, I think you mentioned to me off air, not only could they do the moment in the Garden, and you may have said this in my research when I was doing this. I apologize if I didn't hear it because my mic's been acting up. The Raw, not right after, but the one after that
is in Atlanta.
They go back to Atlanta, which is, where Cody's a Georgia boy now.
Yep.
So, just saying, man.
That's fair.
Sometimes the shit just writes itself.
Yep. And to Cleaver's point, while I agree with you that him giving away matches on free isn't a likely thing,
right?
You've got to think about next year, I believe, the negotiations with Fox and WWE, now Endeavor, are going to be up.
Right.
Fox and USA have both kind of been upset at the WWE because of the fact that the champion is not on the show on a regular basis defending the belt.
Mm-hmm.
All it would take, Colin, is for Roman to be in the ring, cutting one of his traditional Madison Square Garden, acknowledge me promos. Somebody come and attack him. Here comes the briefcase.
If that's the way you want to set Cody up.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my girlfriend. She doesn't see Cody being the type to be cheap and underhanded like that, but it's all about opportunity.
Yeah.
And when you've failed a couple times with honor and morals, you're going to take whatever opportunity is given to you to cash that briefcase in.
Yep.
Just putting it out there,
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to, like I said, the next year, man. Even if it does resolve itself, the Cody part of the story resolve itself by the it would absolutely would. I saw that chat myself.
That's the other thing you got to think about, Cleaver, is you're giving away a Roman match on free TV, but it's the Garden.
Yeah.
It is the Mecca for WWE.
Well, no, I agree with that, but from what he's, it's one of those. Does Fox see the money in WWE, even with this sale, even with, things, however they're going to turn? Again, we're literally 6 days removed from WrestleMania at this. Well, 5 days removed from WrestleMania at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And not from WrestleMania, but from the announcement of the sale.
Yeah.
It's barely simmering on the cooktop, y'all. Just let this shit breathe for a minute as far as booking championship decisions, booking Mania next year. And granted, we all know Vince goes to WrestleMania and works backwards. It's what he's always done. But Hunter, I don't know if he does the same thing. Yeah. I ain't watching SmackDown on Channel 5 no more. That was a pain in the ass.
Hey, as long as it doesn't go to sci-fi. God.
Hey,
We'll
I
have
mean,
the
you know what? It
return
worked
of
pretty
the
well.
zombie.
It worked pretty well for Thursday nights, you know.
There we go. SmackDown to Access TV confirmed. Trying to find that shit in channel 205. Where the hell's my show? You know, because it's true. Because that's how I do my Thursdays. What the fuck channel is that again?
I remember.
Like I've got to go to. I think it's the Roku channel.
Isn't that a bitch?
Gets Access TV, and it's like half the time I forget about it to go watch Impact into the New Japan hour that usually follows it. And the times that I do remember, it's like, well, shit, I got movies I got to get in because I'm falling behind on, what my channel actually is.
That's super easy. Sling TV, Access TV, or just Ultimate Insider on YouTube, commercial free.
I purposely allocated time during the week now where I'm actually home on Thursdays. Like, all right, find this channel. Thing is, again, we're going off into the weeds here. The damn Spectrum app at this house, the old house, I can't get it to log into our account, so I only get the 2 through 13 shit.
Oh,
so it's like I can't scroll down to 10 or whatever, 2-9, whatever the hell Access TV is. The pain in the ass.
You're welcome,
so, there you go. Yes, we acknowledge the zombie on this channel. For
the
better
more
for
you
worse.
know, and knowing is half the battle. Yo, Cena.
The only show I remember from Sci-Fi was a weird game show called Exit. And that I think had like 6 episodes or something like that. It was almost like escape the room before you get trapped or some nonsense like that. I don't even remember the concept of it.
Man,
Sci-Fi's the go home with Chucky. So.
I was going to say, Sci-Fi used to be so cool back in the days, man. They'd show the classic Universal monsters.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then that channel just went to shit.
Yeah, Sci-Fi, SYFI. Like, what does that even mean?
I wouldn't know. I don't watch. I wouldn't know. I don't watch TV.
We know, Noah. We know.
And
you don't watch WWE religiously, so you probably never watched WWE CW on Sci-Fi either. So,
nor should you.
Exactly.
Anything past week 1 is a freaking crapshoot for your mentality. Tell you what.
Tiffany, the general manager at some point of that, I think, or somebody.
Taryn Terrell was the GM of ECW. That's the tweet. I love Taryn, but damn.
The only good thing that ECW gave us was CM Punk.
Yes.
The Miz.
Yes.
And Extreme Expose.
And even then, that was like
Extreme Expose.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Their,
find out shit again on this show.
It was their take on like the Nitro Girls. It was Kelly, Layla, and Brooke Adams. Yeah. And it was like their kind of spoof take on the Nitro Girls.
But it started as Kelly's expose with her 19-year-old self trying to be an exhibitionist, and Mike Knox going, "Nope, not today, Satan."
Well, that's one way to put. Well, that's one way to put butts in seats, I guess, in 2006 or 7, whatever the hell that was.
It's also a good way to get heat on Mike Knox by trying to have him cover up the goods.
Because Mike Knox needed all that heat.
Right. Stat Boy, I saw your hand go up there.
I think the show that Noah was talking about was called A State of Panic. And it had
that thing. The weird mansion. That
Yeah, and the guy was from Crossing Jordan. The host was from the show Crossing Jordan. It was an excellent show.
Which is why I want it, because my sister's an influence on my life.
Right.
If you know, folks.
The question I wanted to ask was, when would the right time for Vince to possibly come back on screen for like a one-off?
The 12th of never.
Yeah, that.
Honestly, the only time I would have thought that it would have made sense would have been Monday night.
Yeah. Yep.
If he had come on screen to announce to the audience about the sale, that would have made sense. Otherwise, keep him off my screen until they announce him going in the Hall of Fame.
As if 3/4 of their audience even understand that.
And I'll tell you what, and Staples would have popped like a mucker feather if Vincent walked out there, boy. I'd have popped if I was there. Shit.
So, All right. Good talk about the WWE stuff, the Endeavor sale.
Yes.
I was going to save this next positive conversation piece for after the intensity of the next topic. But considering that she just got name dropped, go ahead and throw it up now. Kelly took to social media this past week to announce her pregnancy.
Congratulations.
So congratulations to her and her man. And that don't even look like Kelly to me in the face.
Right?
I'm not trying to be mean. I don't know what she's done, surgery wise, if she's done anything, but she don't even look the same person to me anymore.
To be fair, brother, like I said, she was 19 on WWE. She done growed up and glowed up. Like, seriously.
That's fair, but congratulations to Barbie Blank.
Yes.
Kelly and her SO on their impending package that'll be delivered here in the next 6 months.
Hopefully everything goes smoothly, because also that's never fully assured. As we know, the super bad couple AEW, Penelope Ford, unfortunately had a miscarriage.
Yes, I was going to say, hopefully it is a healthy and happy baby boy or girl, whatever it is that they're going to be having to add to their family.
Family is fragile, but family is forever.
She's had good taste in guys. And the guy she's with now is wonderful. She previously dated a hockey player, even though he was a duck. He's good taste, decent player, decent dude. So it's very happy for Barbie. It's anytime somebody in the public eye wrestling and what we do is able to have a family either during or after their career is something truly extraordinary and special. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. So before the insanity of our next topic, again, we're going to throw to this very quick commercial. This is everything that is coming up for the watch-alongs in the very near future on the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media.
Officially booked.
That's right. Other stuff will be added as it gets announced. As wrestling promoters love to say, card subject to change. But this is what's coming up.
I'm going to try to go at least to a couple of those things for damn sure, but I'm looking very forward to a lot of that.
It's so funny. It's so funny being the producer and watching everybody in the green room here. Noah's sitting there, the WWE stuff. He's like, and everything else, he's like,
yes.
It's so hilarious to watch.
Yeah, I always like the points in the show where we're in the green room waiting for for the Greg Cherry show and that theme play. We're all we're sitting there doing this stupid freaking dance log, doing this. All right, you know what that means, and we're all like serious, but we're sitting there for the first 5 minutes going, it's so silly. I will say this: I remember having the discussion with the four of us, the open mic night core four, if you will, about scaling back the watch-alongs and not do this shit. We have 36 watch-alongs booked for this year since freaking Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, we're scaling back. Bullshit. 36.
To be fair, we were talking about scaling back when you were the sole producer and Noah and James were your sole commentators.
That's fair.
With your gainful employment at the House of Mouse.
Yes.
Where the mouse started it all.
Yes.
I've jumped into the producer's chair.
Yeah.
Not just producing open mic night, but producing watch-alongs and everything as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I've stepped up in the past year being your WWE color commentator alongside this gentleman. The person who maybe needs to slow down a little bit is this guy, but his question is, what is sleep? So,
What is sleep? Baby, don't worry, no more.
It's just kind of one of those things where as long as Noah's willing to keep on chugging along, no reason to hit the switch track.
No, but
professional wrestling's on my screen. You got me.
Yeah. I was talking with people because I did get to work one day this week before the Rona decided to rear its ugly head again. Being able to be at Mania and all the content we produced in March legitimately financially made up for my not being booked on weekends during March at Disney. That's how well we did this month.
Hey.
Like, that was a revelation. I was like, it can be done. I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
So
Daniel, good to see that you're back. Glad you enjoyed the Super Mario movie. Didn't mean to step on you, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was going to say, we totally missed an opportunity for Mario. That should have been released on March 10th. It was a Friday. The marketing's there, man.
Yeah.
But-
MAR 10.
Yeah. That shit was. But at the same time, I don't think Super Mario World here was like fully open yet, and I know they wanted to get that synergy behind the thing. So
think about it.
What does March 10th have to do with Mario?
Think about it. Yeah, it's spell Mario because the abbreviation for March is MAR, and then the 1 for the I and the 0 for the O.
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah. If you were again, you're not on social media on the regular, which we love the hell out of you for that. But yeah, it was all over on March 10th that hashtag MAR10 was like, man, where is the movie not being put out there? But like I said, I remember that they hadn't opened the theme land at Universal during that. So
Nathan, what is going on? Good to see you. Michael, good to know that Mario is a fun movie. I know our resident gamers down here are probably going to see it, even though the one that doesn't watch movies will probably give it a look just because it's Mario.
Nah.
No? Yeah. Well, I know the stat boy will.
Yeah.
Tornado says that his one and only Mania was 29. Can't believe it's been 10 years. My one and only Mania was 21. It's been 18 years.
Yeah.
And God bless Tony for his live WrestleMania experience being when the streak was still alive.
There you go.
Much like Paul Bear, he will always live in his heart.
Fair enough.
So we've had a little bit of downer talk already. We've had a few jovial moments. That was some nice lighthearted talk to come out of the commercial there. Now shit's gonna get serious, folks.
Oh yeah. Again, disclaimers.
Like I said at the start, this is definitely a triggering topic. If you and your mentality cannot handle conversation about sexual assault, thank you for joining us for Open Mic Night. We will see you next week.
Yeah, really.
If you are a strong enough,
advice, put a banner at the bottom of the video.
Absolutely. If your mentality is such and you're a strong enough person where you can engage in this kind of conversation with us in the chat room, we welcome hearing your guys' opinions. But
healthily.
Yes.
First, please.
Listen to the producer, man. Say it one more time, Meacham.
Healthily converse. Rationally converse. Not go ape shit.
Be excellent to each other in the chat rooms.
Be better.
For real. For real, though.
So as some of you may know, on Tuesday, Sherlyn Guerrero, the youngest daughter of Eddie, rest in peace, and Vicky, took to TikTok and posted a video where she essentially outed her stepfather, Vicky's new husband, as having sexually assaulted her on a cruise that they took back in 2020.
Miracle Cruise.
This is that video. I am going to play it for everyone. Fair warning, it goes almost 10 minutes. But I ask that everybody that does not know what is going on, has not been keeping up with the story, pay attention to what this young lady is saying. It would be very easy to show a picture and read a quote like we do for other stuff.
Yeah.
But I told Boss Man here, no. People need to experience what this young woman is pouring out of her soul.
Yeah.
As triggering as it may be. So again, with that warning in place, here's Charlotte Guerrero's video.
So I think it's time. It's time. I feel I need to make this for myself. I think I need to make it for the miscommunication that I receive from a lot of the fans and people in general. So I'm going to go ahead and just start because this story can go so into depth that I'd rather just keep it short and get to the point. My family is well known, obviously. And it's been 2 years and I have been so quiet about so much. And if anybody said anything cool, if not, I'm pretty sure they're not because it makes them look really bad. And I have protected them for so long that I feel nobody is protecting me. So I need to start protecting me. So a lot of people ask me if I talk to my mom or my sister. And the answer is no. Now let me go ahead and rephrase this or tell you, I would love to talk to my mom and my sister. I really would. I need them. And I don't need a lot. And I don't need anybody else other than my family, right? This is why I didn't want to make this because I'm so tired of crying. But I also feel like this is just going to help me not feel like I'm keeping this giant secret. Okay. So come 2020, right before COVID, there was a cruise that my family had went on. And basically on this cruise, I got sexually assaulted. And the unfortunate part is that it was by my stepdad. Yeah, it was by my stepdad. And was I the only one? No, but that's not my business to put their story out there. But it happened to me. And the fact that I protected somebody that doesn't clearly give a shit about me is beyond me. But hey, you know, growth and maturity, right? I lived with them, so I didn't know what to do. That happened. I was living with them. Then COVID happened. Everything shut down. And I basically just became mute, I feel, and very numb. And I worked my ass off to get out of there and get my own apartment, which I got in September of 2020, that same year. I really did everything I could to not only protect my mom, but keep the peace and to just get on with my life. Basically, fast forward, maybe like the following year, when I got injured with my knee, my mom was the only one out here in Houston that's family, and she was helping me with that. And there was basically a conversation. And granted, let me tell you, I have told my mom how uncomfortable I am with him after it happened, and basically she was always telling me it was a mistake. It's not who he is. Just kind of like, I'm sorry, that's not my problem type deal. And I never really felt like she protected me. So when I got injured, money was a thing with my surgery and having help with that, blah, blah, blah. Moral of the story is she thought I owe this man everything. I owe him respect. I owe him just all this stuff. And last time I checked, anybody that handles me like that physically doesn't get my respect. And I really tried to tell my mom that but she took it as a way of disrespect to her and her relationship, and that meaning she doesn't want anything to do with me if I disrespect her relationship. I did care about, you know, my mom's career and all that, but seeing my own mom be okay with abandoning me, and I get people need time to heal if they're going through something, but it's been 2 years and I've almost going on 3, and I've been blocked. Like, I can't even call my mom, and she's the closest family I know to me. I haven't been able to call her for anything. Creature's right here, like, smelling the phone. And it's been fucking hard. My sister felt like she did not want to be in the middle, and I would lean on my sister because that's my sister. Like, who else am I going to lean on? But she couldn't do it. I get that boundary, though. I really do. But to go ahead and block me and act as if I'm just an enemy as well because I need you, and I'm trying to see how to talk to my mom or just how to get through to her, it just all blew up in my face. And it's kind of crazy because the family I've told this to sees my side, and they always tell me, like, why are you protecting her? Because nobody's protecting you. And I feel like it's honestly affecting a lot of my relationships. And I don't want it to, because that's not me. And I don't want to have this anger anymore. And the more I keep going to church, I keep forgiving it. And that's why I'm like, I forgive her so much that I'm like, I'm okay with whatever happens, because you chose to do what you had to do, and I have to choose what I have to do, and what I've been choosing isn't really working out for me. Protecting everybody else except for myself is not working out for me. And the fact that, like, I waited and I felt like maybe it just needs some time because she's in the middle of this awkward and bad situation, I get it. But to not even follow up a year, to say happy birthday, to say Merry Christmas, any like holidays, to not like reach out to me when like family passes away, it's just so fucked up. And I'm just so tired of sitting here silently while they're on social media just acting like it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And I'm done being silent. I don't care anymore because they left me alone. And I have been in flight or fight mode. And all because I wanted to protect them in their careers. And I feel like they can clearly do that themselves. I'm speaking up because I'm tired of getting messages. I'm tired of people asking me. I'm tired of people accusing me that I don't talk to my mom or that I've separated myself, and I really haven't, because I reach out to her all the time. I'm just putting this to rest. It is what it is. I am here with open arms, and I know that my family has a lot of healing to do. As do I, but I actually have to start healing now instead of waiting for them to come around. Please respect my journey and this video, and it is not to bring like anything to them. Unfortunately, it's just facts, and that's what happened. And I'm done being silent. I'm done getting all these accusations and messages. I'm just saying my piece, and I'm going to continue what I keep doing and building a life for myself, because I have to support myself and provide for myself. And yeah, I literally wish them well. I miss them and I love them, and I wish that we could talk, and I hope one day we do. But my life is out in the world, and it's always been like that, so I feel like I have to do this. But there you go. I hope everyone has a great Sunday.
Before we get in depth about that, we're going to do the follow-up here. So shortly after that aired, I want to say it was the next day, Vicky Guerrero took to social media. And there's a lot to read there. But it says, there are two sides to a story. Over 15 years, my relationship with Sherlyn has been hostile, and I have tried to deal with a narcissist person. Not only myself, but close friends of Sherlyn of over 10 years and family have cut ties with her because of her manic behaviors. I tried to do therapy with Sherlyn, but she has always said no, and that I am sick, not her. Sherlyn, please tell your side of your character of being drunk on the cruise and having guys in your room, then crying because you think you were raped, then demanded us go to a pharmacy in the Bahamas for Plan B. You want to play dirty and sling Chris and I through the mud? I have my own pile of mud from you. Are you enjoying the 2 cars that Chris bought you? The 3 apartments you bailed out of? And the 2 surgeries we paid for you? Your lies will catch up, and I feel bad for you. Sherlyn, not once have you spoken to Chris about the situation, but you can go on social media and tell all. But that's how you communicate. Another example of you manipulating and harassing others. I am so done with you and tired of the years of your manipulation, lies, and disrespect. I kept quiet for years because you never seeked therapy to learn how to have an adult conversation with me. It has always been your way or nothing at all. Okay, Sherlyn, not only will I see you in court, but you and I will no longer be related. For the fans who feel entitled to comment, fuck you. You hear one side of a story and you feel entitled to comment on something you know nothing about. From there, Chavo Guerrero took to Twitter. Just to let everyone know, I fully support my cousin Sherlyn Guerrero, Eddie's daughter, and have been doing so privately in the last couple years of her struggles. She is a very strong woman for coming forward with the sexual assault she has suffered. I love you, Prima. And then lastly, and this is probably the longest one of all because we all waited to see what her older sister Shaw would have to say. And she took to social media and said, I am deeply saddened at the state my family has been in for years. What my sister stated happened on the cruise was true. She did get sexually assaulted by my stepfather. Sexual assault is never okay, and she has every right to talk about it. Was it rape? No. But it was unwanted touching, which is absolutely unacceptable and traumatizing. This incident tore an even deeper wedge into our family than what was there before. My mother and sister have had a deeply tumultuous relationship for years. Same with my sister and I. After this incident on the cruise, we all went into various forms of therapy in order to heal. My sister has led the public to believe we abandoned her after the sexual assault, which is not true. The family went into various forms of therapy, and Mom and Chris helped Sherlyn get on her feet again by helping her financially as they have done for Sherlyn since she was 22. Does this solve the wounds? Absolutely not. But she was not abandoned after this incident. Family or not, I have refused people in my life who do not treat me with respect. I have refused to continue my role in my family where I play peacekeeper, especially when I am states away and can't referee properly. Sherlyn, I will once again offer to do therapy with you so we can sort out our relationship. Mom has offered the same these past years, As we all know, we need a professional to be in the room if we are going to talk to each other. You have never stepped forward to want to mend the relationship or take us up on therapy, despite us saying we will take care of the details and finances. Sherlyn, what happened to you was not okay. What happened on that cruise tore an even deeper wedge into our family. But the reason why we don't all talk is a deep well of tangled hurt and complication that I can barely understand, let alone the fans that think they know our family. I'm so sad that we are dealing with all of this hurt publicly now. I hope the family that is supporting you will hold your hand and give you the support you need. That family does not include me due to the verbal and emotional abuse you have subjected me to over many years. My boundaries matter just as yours do. And until you agree to meet with a therapist to work this out, then we will continue to heal separately. I hope you find healing. Now, one last thing I want to bring up because it directly ties into this.
Okay.
A lot of people were very quick to bring up a tweet that Vicky had sent out after the Giselle Shaw incident over WrestleMania weekend with Rick Steiner, where she says, "This makes me sad and it's unacceptable. I love you, Giselle Shaw, and if I was there, I would have stood by your side and spoke up for you. Heads up, you are a wonderful human being and my friend." And obviously people are criticizing that because you're willing to stand up for Giselle Shaw, but not your daughter.
That's the context that comes out of that tweet. Yes. Yes. I think we're in the opening of the show. Who wants to go first?
Right?
I'll take the floor.
Let's go for it.
All right. So there was a comment right after we started about having met both Vicky and Shaw and that they were both nice in person. JJ and I have met Vicky many times now. It was Anthony, thank you. JJ and I have met Vicky more than once. And yes, in person, absolutely. Wonderful lady. I met Shaw on the 2021 Jericho cruise. Not the one we're talking about here, but the one the year after. Let me be clear. I was not on the 2020 cruise and have no idea what happened. So don't fucking bombard me with shit. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Wasn't booked. Wasn't there. But again, we met them in public, around people. Not always the people that are in their private lives either. There's that right off the bat. So Tony, I'm glad you got to meet both Vicky and Shaw because I've had the same opportunity and I had similar experiences. To the point that Vicky remembers us now that I see her subsequent appearances. Maybe not anymore, but she did at the time. So that I thought we made a good impression, you and I, Jay, on her. There was that.
Kind of hard to not make a good impression on her when you're wearing an Eddie Guerrero shirt.
I mean, but even just seeing her going, you know, the fact that muscle memory is there is especially people that have been around as long as she has in the industry and been involved with so many different people in the industry. That's pretty cool. She remembered us.
But we digress.
Buy the shirt. JJ did, you know. Fill in plug here. Move on. First of all, Sherlyn's not wrong. It is fucked up. That's just long and short of it. I will say this, and I'm going to try to be brief because I'm so fucked up in the head about this whole thing. Just knowing and having interacted with her as long as I have now, it's just like, she is absolutely within her rights as a human being to feel traumatized by this, to be affected by this, and to seek justice for herself and, you know, empower herself. Never take that away from anybody, ever.
Right.
But both Vicky and Shaw, while Vicky didn't deny what happened in her rant toward her daughter, nor did Shawl deny. Matter of fact, Shawl sided in with her sister that, yes, it happened. At no time did Sherlyn say that therapy was discussed, therapy was offered, these things were put out there. Now, would you want to go to a therapy session with somebody that did this to you? Probably not, if we're being honest. But if family was important to Sherlyn, as she claims in the video, even if it's not Chris, if it's just healing with her mother, just healing with her sister, whether you are as affected as you absolutely should be by this, Sherlyn, if you're not willing to go the path to have any sort of healing, but you're willing to have a 10-minute video go out there for us to, us to make our opinions for you, that's where I have a problem with it. And I've always had a problem with social media on fronts like that. It's like, you don't want to heal. You want to get the attention of everybody else to attack those who have wronged you. And if you don't know the person and you're wronged by them, then yeah, you rally the troops, you do your shit. But Shawl, I think, made the greatest point of all. Unfortunately, the healing now has to happen in the public eye, in front of God and everybody, because that's the path that has been laid down in front of them now. God bless Chavito. God, I mean, this family has been at one point so close. I originally had a picture that I was going to put underneath all the quotes from the video and the subsequent social media posts of the three of them at the podium in 2006. Because as horrible as it was, Eddie's death galvanized the family and the friends. You figure Chavito, Chris Benoit, and Ray were all up there together inducting. Vicky and the girls were up there accepting. For that brief moment, they were all together. And in the last 3 years, it's just, and if you read between the lines of Vicky and Shaw's posts before that, before the cruise even, it's been bad. It's, Mikey was talking about earlier with the whole, with the Davey thing. Every part of that is fucked up. There's just no way around, being nice about my verbiage about it, especially how strongly I feel about it. But I do feel that her going about it the way she did by just on TikTok, I believe, rather than accept if it was laid out there, help professionally is, and it's easy for me to say that not being in the situation with them directly, but having been in situations where family does need to heal, and nobody's family is perfect. But having been in a situation where even now we're trying to find strength within my own family to, right the, not trauma we inflict on each other, but just get the ship rudder steered properly. This is the absolute worst way to go about it, because the family will never, in my opinion, fully heal again now that it's just there for 8 billion people on the planet to judge. That's where Sherlyn, that's the only part of this that Sherlyn aired as well as everybody else in the family. Because Sherlyn having to put that out there in her heart and her mind has now rallied the entire family to have to put up the defenses, and off we go to the races, unfortunately. And it's not going to be what she wanted, if what she wants is healing.
That's a fair take.
What I got.
No. That's my biggest issue with this. aside from the fact that it's all being aired on social media, which, again, it's being aired on social media, and then you're being mad when the public has an opinion on it. I don't feel like you can legitimately be upset with people having an opinion on it if you're throwing it out there on social media. And that's towards everybody. It's towards Cherlynn for making the video, Vicky and her response where she's telling the fans, fuck you for having an opinion, but she's putting her own side of the story out on social media in a public forum where people are going to have an opinion. Chavito and Shaw doing the same thing, trying to play cleanup, I guess, trying to bring things down the middle. But I mean, the biggest issue that I have is Vicky's wording on some of the things, because you look at her statement. I'll throw it up there again. Are you enjoying the 2 cars that he bought you, the 3 apartments you bailed out of, the 2 surgeries we paid for you? It almost sounds like those were hush money gifts. Because we don't know when those cars were bought for her.
Right.
If one of them was bought prior to the incident, then obviously it's not. But if any of that stuff was done for her post the incident, then it comes off as being hush money.
Yeah.
By the hush money in the bank shirt on the Jeff Meacham Pro Wrestling tees. But
yeah,
and I'm only doing that type of shit to try to bring a little bit of lightness to the topic so it's not so oversaturated, but it's like it really comes off bad on her. And I don't think she realized when she put it out there how bad it really made her sound.
Yep.
I get that in the heat of the moment you're pissed and that fiery Latina temper and you're gonna, but you basically just made it sound like your new husband, her stepdad, the man who sexually assaulted her, is buying her this shit to shut her the fuck up.
Yeah. There's no context to Vicky's post. Zero.
No. And then Shaw, for Christ's sake, having to go out there and write this book.
Yeah.
Where she basically confirms both sides of the story.
Yep.
She confirms what Vicky is saying about how Cherlynn has kind of been abusive towards them.
Yeah.
And tumultuous relationship and all that stuff. But she also confirms that the events did take place.
Yep.
It's sad. It really is. I mean,
when you think about Shaw's line of work now that she's in, I mean, she's in an industry where she's, it's a brilliant.
Yeah.
She's out there, performing, singing, dancing. Yeah, but she's out there showing the goods.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the absolute wrong industry to have to try to play, clean up the over sexualized stuff of your life.
Yeah.
So,
it's Stat Boy. I'm going to go to you next. Then I'm going to leave it to Noah to bring us home on this one because while Noah looks like he is deep in thought, I also know that he's going to probably have the most calm approach to kind of bring things all home and tie it in a bow. Stat Boy, go ahead.
This is a very touchy situation because
you think
it's like I said at the beginning of the show. You are absolutely right. Sexual assault is one of the top 3 things that can happen to anybody. Hearing what she was saying was bringing up things in my life that I have chosen to keep secret. Okay. I mean, when I'm talking to my family, and when I refer to my family, I'm talking, my brothers here in the studio. They are my family, okay? My family, my blood family is also, like Jeff said, it's not perfect, okay? Things happen, My father left me when I was 2 years old. I have a stepfather. I'm jealous of my cousins, and all that stuff has happened, but I don't want to go too deep, and I don't want to reveal too much. But this is also putting a light on Vicky Guerrero that I don't want to ever have known about, because I just see the "excuse me" person and that stuff. Okay, I got Vicky the person when they would interview Eddie when he was doing the title run, when he got into trouble, when Vicky and Eddie were married. Okay, this is the wife, the mother. Okay, but to hear her say, oh, it didn't happen. This is your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not defending your daughter, especially about a subject as difficult as this? Okay,
agree, and not just denying the fact that it happened, Mikey, but basically throwing it out there like, not only did this not happen, but my daughter was drunk off her ass and let every guy on the ship run on her. Like, you made your daughter sound like a hoe,
which is totally wrong. I mean, I'm not a parent. Okay, you're a parent. Jeff is a parent. You both are there for your kids. Okay, if the children come to you and say, "This happened, something bad happened to me," you are going to defend your children at any age. They could be little children. They could be something happened at school. Something happened as they've gotten older. Something happened, as they get older and older and older and older, you are still going to defend them. Something happened at work. I don't like my job. I got in a car accident. All this stuff. You need to be there for your children no matter what. And sadly, in my current life, it feels like that's not happening. Again, I don't want to go into too many details about that. So I almost want to call out Vicky and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you, woman? How dare you say that about your daughter? That is not the right thing to say. You should immediately say, something is happening with my keep the privacy. Try and keep the privacy. But also, let's look at Sherlyn here. If this has been building and building and building and building and building, guess what? Mount St. Helens here. It's going to explode. These two up here have, well said, Daniel, thank you. These two up here have and Dory Lou has done this too, and she just got home, by the way. They have pounded into me, stop holding things in. Because when we were all living at the Casa, and I would keep my mouth shut, I wouldn't say a word, I would just sit there and
Mikey, I'm sorry. I'm going to cut across you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't. But as far as our stuff and the personal stuff, that's not what is important in the context of the conversation. Number one. Number two, we need to get going with what the facts are of the situation with the story. Again, I'm sorry to cut you off. I am.
Oh, I mean, I was getting that, but I mean, it was just going to be that you guys would try to tell me to speak on it. So I was going to say, finally spoke on it. Should she have done it on social media? No, probably not.
No, and that's what I was going to say as far as Vicky not immediately coming to her daughter's defense. Again, if you read Vicky's post, if you read Charles' post, they've been trying to get everybody to go to therapy. And again, context is king. Vicky not providing enough context on her end villainizes her, whether she is the true, villain or not. Like JJ said, it looks like they're, putting out hush money, and we don't know when those gifts were, when those things were provided for or bought for or whatever. It's just this entire situation is coming out of lack of context from everybody around, and poor Chavito and Shaw having to, go behind the freaking horse carriage with a pooper scooper. So that's what it is. And again, I wasn't trying to invalidate your point, because trust and believe, Gigi and I both know that our points about what took place in the Casa are valid, are important, but they took place in the Casa with the cameras off. So
yeah, I wasn't going to disclose a lot of things that happened in the Casa. I was just trying to get a point that, like Charlene did. I mean, she finally has had enough.
And that's fine. And that's fine. And I'm not saying that, what we were telling you all these years as far as being able to open up is, necessary. But again, we're not encouraging you to go on the Casa Studios and go, Jeff said this, Mike said that. And it's like, no, just.
No. That's not going to happen. No,
but that's basically what was sounding like was being advocated for. And that's why I was trying to okay, wait a minute. He's going to hold.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. So, the other thing that this kind of reminds me of is there was a it's kind of hip hop related, and Jay, you can help me on this. There was a case with Tupac where he was being interviewed, and he kept saying stuff that was happening, and the people are trying to stop him. It was you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. It was used in a trial of some kind where he was calling somebody out, and they're over money or something. If Shaolin was, and I'm saying her name wrong, I'm sorry. If she was saying this, if she was saying this as a, I mean, I doubt there are any legalities in these allegations. So, I mean, this could be used as evidence. I mean, it's out there in the public, and that has me a little bit worried too. So, like I say, going on social media and, if that is her therapy, then it can be, brought up, and it can be a way for her to heal, but I don't see how healing would take place when you've got 8 billion people who want to say what's on their mind. And when does the healing begin? So
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes just sitting there and talking to a camera can be therapeutic. But it doesn't mean that you have to air the video that you shoot.
Right.
You can sit there and you can go into your studio. You can set your phone up, your digital camera up, your laptop up, whatever you want to use. You can look in the camera, and you can talk, and you can vent and get everything off your chest. And then you can hit the delete button, because you've gotten it all out. You've said your piece, but the entire world of social media doesn't need to see it. I am going to take it back to the Casa real quick, Jeff. For all of you guys out there that may remember the Jeff Meacham resignation video. That was take 2.
Yeah. Yep.
The original version of that was deleted.
Yeah.
Because he said his piece.
Uh-huh.
He got everything off his chest, the weight off his shoulders that he wanted to get off.
Yep.
And he felt like he came off really harsh.
Yeah.
Even harsher than the video that is still posted on the channel that you can go back and watch.
Yeah.
So we deleted that one. And then he reshot it more diplomatically, still getting a lot of the same points across, but not near as venomous as the original video.
If that first video had gone out, he and I still wouldn't be talking now. No way. No way Aaron and I would be speaking now. I'm not even going to lie.
And, you know, again, just to try to halfway lighten the mood here, you say that your family is not perfect, Mikey. Nobody's family is perfect. Even Cain slayed Abel.
That's right.
Just saying. You know? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Noah.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, our elder statesman here when it comes to keeping things on track, on point, and eloquently getting a point across without diving down the rabbit hole to Wonderland. What are your thoughts on everything regarding Sherlyn and Vicky Guerrero and the additional information brought forth by Chavo and Shaw?
Wrong is wrong. Social media isn't the answer. Trust Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thy own understanding. All that this has done now is this family will be judged forevermore across 8 billion people across every platform because of the fact that we are so connected. It was handled the wrong way. That's the bottom line, and that's all I got to say about that. May all one day recover.
Gotta love Noah. Short, easy, and to the point. I mean...
yeah.
Again, like, there's no other way to describe it than a very fucked up situation.
No.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Anybody that engages in sexual assault across any gender, any age, any race, whatever, as far as I'm concerned, is a piece of shit.
Right.
But there's better ways to handle the situation.
Yeah.
Than putting it out there the way that Sherlyn did. And again, am I chastising Sherlyn for doing it?
No.
No, because maybe that's what she felt it was going to take, is by getting 8 billion people's eyes on it to point out to her mom how fucked up the situation is.
Yeah.
Maybe something would finally get done about it. Vicky's Twitter and Instagrams have been deactivated.
Yeah.
Her profile has been removed from the AEW website.
Yep.
So there's definitely a fallout, if you will, from this.
Yeah,
is Vicky the right person to hold accountable for all this? Therein lies another question, because Vicky did not commit the sexual assault.
No.
However, Vicky supposedly has never defended her daughter in regards to it either.
Yeah.
So it's like the proverbial harboring a criminal.
Yep.
You know, she's enabling the situation to continue by the fact that she's still with the man. He's still a part of her life, her kids' lives. Personally, if my significant other did something like that to my kid, first thing first, we done.
Right.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts. There is no time to explain. No, we're done.
Right.
And you better be thankful that that's all it is, because I'm not laying a hand on a woman.
Yeah.
if it's another man that does it, it's on like Donkey Kong, and we both go into jail, him for sexually assaulting and me for murdering him.
I mean,
You know, so it is what it is.
Especially your daughter. There's a line for that.
Right?
It's like,
thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that.
let's see who can run the fastest from the fat man. Jesus. I will say this. There should be, at best, 4 people that know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, Vicky, Sherlyn, and whatever police officer comes to arrest him, had they done this the right way in the first place.
I would even throw Shaw in there because Shaw was evidently on the cruise and was witness to it. So,
or at least the aftermath, right? Yeah.
So,
But even
so she deserves to be involved too.
so, at best, we're looking at 5 people or less that really should be in on this horrible occurrence. Not 8 billion. And again, not everybody's on Twitter. I understand. Not everybody's on social media. I understand that. But I'm just making a point.
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, Noah put it best, and we're trying to, it's like there is no, and JJ, you made a great point about cutting that video. My therapist always encourages me when I'm having a moment to just at the camera and then turn that shit off. Thank you. I love this jersey. It's the only one of the Ducks movies I'll wear on camera on the regular because, the D1 jersey, I love it, but it garners thoughts in some Kings fans that make me want to run and hide and go into a bomb shelter, And then the third one is the one they actually wore on the team, so it's kind of is what it is.
To my knowledge, there is not one that's been filed. I think she was trying to handle it in-house instead of getting things, more legal, if you will.
But
and maybe that was the wrong way to go about it as well. Maybe she should have immediately gone to police.
Seriously.
When her mom wasn't going to listen to her and handle it.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go to the authorities.
Yeah.
I tried to do this the right way, the nice way.
Yep.
You're denying it. You're excusing it. I'm going to the cops.
Yeah. At best, you're at sea for a week on the Jericho cruise. You get back into the States. All right. Here we go. End of story. End of conversation.
Yep.
And now it's...
I love how Noah's reading the Bible as we're discussing this. At least he's moved on from the Mox book.
He did there.
At least he's moved on from the Mox book.
Right. Yeah, again.
And it is past midnight on the East Coast. So to all our East Coast viewers,
yes,
happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter. I have a friend back east that's celebrating Passover because that's what they do. So it's, I forgot I had the thought because the Bible thing just made me chuckle. But it's just something that did not need to be handled. Oh, that's what it was. The courts of law could have very easily handled the implications of this without the court of public opinion now getting to make the decision. That's what social media has become now, because Joey Ryan, whether he did or didn't, is now a file in the court of public opinion forevermore, which is why he no longer has a Jungle Cruise outfit that he wears to his place of employment on the regular, because he don't work there no more. Davey Richards will not be able to gamefully be employed by wrestling companies because of the court of public opinion that, to be fair, he put on himself. It's sad that the court of public opinion, as you said at the top, Jay, we're kind of bringing it home now, guilty until proven innocent. When the folks that went into that hall in Philadelphia, which we've been talking about, all week, and wrote those little laws that, kind of govern right or wrong sometimes, innocent until proven guilty is no longer the case. And that's what's come out of this week in the news.
Yep.
Again, in wrestling.
But
you can also have the court of public opinion completely trash you and still make $9 billion on a sale. So there is that.
Yeah. There is that indeed. All right. Well, that wraps up the main event for our conversation.
Yes.
I am going to run another commercial. Even though we saw it as part of the entrance video, I'm going to throw James's shills out there one more time.
All right.
Since he's not there with us. We're a lot quicker done with this than I thought we would be.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to say is, if anybody is in the chat room and has something that they would like for us to address, super chat Jeff Arott, my channel.
Yep.
Throw a super chat out there, throw a topic out there. Otherwise, once we come back from this trailer, we're going to start shills, and we may be getting out of here a lot earlier than normal.
Yeah.
So here is what is coming up for James Hebert on the Jay Hebert side of things and FTW Productions.
Jay Hebert side.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul. It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Button Master Stable Wars entire playlist. AEW Revolution Go Home Week, Dynamite and Rampage watch parties. Mistress Audio dramatic readings featuring voice actors from Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Elimination Chamber retrospective. All WrestleMania-themed retros by Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play series. WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Let's Play series. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. The entirety of the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Let's Play series. Past and upcoming Jeff Meacham Network watch-along coverage. FTW Productions watch party for WrestleMania Go Home Raw. A Simple Take. WWE Simple Takes featuring Cassidy 18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 7. Our favorite WrestleMania matches. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
So there's what is going on over on the Jay Hebert side of things. And in case any of you guys are wondering why he's not here with us this evening, a lot of it has to do with what we were talking about at the start of the show, protecting mentality. James did a video on Monday on his channel, the Jay Hebert side of things, episode 4, where he went in depth about the sale of WWE and his thoughts of it. So didn't really need to be here for that topic. And then the other 2 topics were just a little bit more than he could handle this week, with the way he felt about that, the burial of his grandfather this past week, which of course he knows our thoughts and prayers are still with him on that. We thank him for being part of the watch along yesterday for AEW Rampage and Battle of the Belts, and still putting his, work face on and coming through for that. But
yes,
we offered him the out for this week, knowing everything else that he's been through, and an effort to protect his mentality, like Noah says so eloquently at the end of every show.
Yep.
So that is why James is not here this week, but he will be back next week, as always, to be part of the Open Mic Night team.
Yep.
I see I have a message here.
It's just me. Like I wasn't prepared to be here, let alone have plugs ready. So what you've got in the queue for me is what it is.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, it's been an emotional roller coaster of a week.
Yeah.
And this episode definitely reflected that. So for the 14 of you that are still here, we greatly appreciate you guys riding with us this evening and joining us for the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night.
Absolutely.
We'll just run down the well here, if you will. Stat Boy, go ahead, and Brian Caged, brother, get your shit in.
Follow Dory Lou and I on Twitter at Hathaway Lou and at LBStatKid1977. Drop us a tweet. Use the hashtag StatBoyApproved, of course, for everything you want to know in the world of sports. Coming up on Tuesday, of course, is our regular Stat Boys Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. We will be in the sports bar. We will be previewing the Stanley Cup playoffs, which start on the 17th.
Woo!
Out of 16 teams are in. And, of course, the headliner of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, his Kings are in. He is ecstatic. My Ducks have been dead since the start of the season. Of course, Dory Lou's Wild are in as well. And but I'll give you the quick early number 1 prediction. If Boston doesn't get the cup this year, with all the points they've been scoring, there's problems in the NHL. Also, the XFL is getting ready to go into their playoff mode as well. On May 13th, Heroes and Legends 19, featuring the King of the Mountain at the Evergreen Smoky Mountain Lodge and Convention Center in Pigeon Forge, which is literally 10 minutes away from Sevierville, where I currently reside. We have been promoting the hell out of this show. Tons and tons of superstars and wrestlers and friends and families will be there. What about the Red Wings? I'm not talking about Detroit right now. Dory Lou and I will be there. You know, you'll see us wearing our Stat Boy Sports Bar shirts. Come on up, ask for a. No, the Red Wings are not in. They think that they are not in. I think they got the boot, so they're out. We'll have our Stat Boy shirts on, so you come up and say hello. And of course, we just can't wait for May 13th to get here.
All right. Moving right along, for those that were unable to join us this evening, check out the Cleveland combatant, Josh Mansfield, or as he's now known, the Meltzer of the multiverse, on the Twitter at CatholicJosh122, on Instagram at Malomangram, and then, of course, No DQ's resident Big Baller G, Jeff Jarrett's #1 fan,
Christ,
at Big Baller G 1988 on TikTok, NoDQ.com/Big Baller G on Twitter, and NoDQ_ Big Baller G 1988 on the Instagram. We've also got the shameless shill for our buddy Gino Rivera, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia. For booking inquiries, Gino_Rivera at yahoo.com, or you can find him at those outlets on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right, let's see what this comment is. Okay. This is Stat Boy related. This past week on Renegades Reviews, kicked off my month of movies that star musicians. I don't know if it's the fact that it was the first show post-Mania and all the shilling for it. I don't know if it's because it's a John Wayne movie. But somehow, some way, my review of Rio Bravo is currently sitting at 327 views.
But Pilgrim, that's a big number.
It's mind-blowing to me, because any other reviews of mine that have gotten into triple digits usually take a month or two to get there.
Yes.
And if I'm being real, it's usually something that's got Meacham on it. So for 300 plus views in under a week on that movie is just mind-numbing to me. Like, I'm still trying to fathom how it happened, wondering if it's the star power of John Wayne, what it is. But we are actually going to test the theory, not going A-Town down, but testing the theory. Next month is going to be John Wayne Westerns.
Oh, there you go.
And we're going to see if they get that type of traction, because that could be a huge tell on where things go.
Well,
yeah, a review for a John Wayne movie, but it has Dean Martin and Ricky Nelson, which is how it fits into the movies that star musicians.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when that month hits in, and once we start promoting it heavily. That's why I was asking you for specific graphics, because I wanted to try to have that trailer ready.
Got it.
But
depending on how the reception is at Pearly Gates, my grandpa Frank will be watching those reviews, because him and John Wayne. Good Lord.
Well, you and your dad, right? Your dad's a big fan too, isn't he? I thought he was.
Not so much as his dad, but
okay.
I mean, it's one of those. He's become his father, watching the Westerns on the weekends now on MeTV, but not John Wayne specifically.
Got it. Okay.
My grandfather, Frank. Oh shoot, they'll probably have to beat him away from the TV up there to like, I'm watching.
I'm watching my stories.
I'm watching this star. Hey, I'm working here. I don't know why my grandpa's off crammed all of a sudden. Anyway, it is what it is. He's so noisy. Anyway,
so in addition, of course, to all that content that went up this past week, we had another edition.
Yes,
of Throwback Thursday, a not as controversial edition.
I was going to say, much murder-inducing.
Yeah, you know. Throwback Thursdays have been getting some traction, been getting a pretty good response. So thank you to everybody out there. I've seen Stat Boy promoting episodes on the Tweeter, talking about his Angels jersey.
Yes.
James share screened a little clip from the Indie Force that went up this past week on the watch along last night. I appreciate everybody that's out there promoting and shilling for Throwback Thursday. I hope everybody is enjoying checking out the old school content, and if nothing else, seeing how we've grown in our presentations from Talk Wrestling 1 to now, and the Talk Wrestlings you see on a weekly basis, or Stat Boy Rants, and then the Stat Boy Sports Bars you see on a weekly basis. You know, assuming one of us is actually there to produce them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you know, and a hearty conversation, and tuning into Renegades reviews and seeing how much I've grown by leaps and bounds. And even the old Dad's episodes.
Yeah.
You know,
out there in the streets and all. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You want to talk about a street champ, Solo Sikoa.
Right.
And then even the ATW views, like I pointed out this past week, the one that went up this past week was a ATW view open mic night. There's Noah there in a black tank top, just kind of ranting and raving as the show goes off the air. And then you look at him, so soft spoken, mild mannered, his suit every week. You know, it's crazy sometimes to see the metamorphosis and the change and the evolution, if you will, in our characters over the time.
Yeah, seriously. It's definitely been cool. Like I said, I can't watch my own stuff, but going back and watching you guys has been a pleasure, because like you said, we've all the hot phrase amongst the kids now is glowed up, and we've definitely all glowed up a lot in 10 years. Tell you what,
For real.
It's been wonderful to see us evolve to better presentations.
And I will say this little tidbit, little nugget thrown out there to entice people. There's just a couple more weeks of Hardy Conversations, because that show only went for 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Once that drops off in 2 weeks, that spot's going to be replaced with Double Down with Double A throwbacks.
Yeah.
You're going to get to see our old buddy Aaron Austin, the cameraman who would go like this and like this when he agreed and disagreed with something. He's going to be on there for the however many episodes he did, giving his takes on stuff. Hey, his show lasted longer than a Hardy Conversation. You hush.
Comments bite back. Can't do this. Anyway,
that sounds hilarious.
Noah, be honest with me. Are you a real life Dark Knight being a simple man?
I'm not quite I'm not quite sure if I understand that. I know Dark Knight's the Batman thing, but I've never been to Gotham, so
No, but I've been to Arkham.
What? Wait,
Arkham's the asylum that all the villains get kept in.
The video game? You played a video game?
No.
No. Arkham Asylum is...
Back in the days when I wrestled, my gimmick was the prisoner. So I would come out in an orange jumpsuit with an Arkham Asylum shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I beat him for the title one time.
But I will say...
Yeah, I let you win. Oh, you want to talk about how you beat me for the title one time? You want to talk about the one time that somebody went for a side rock slam on you and you broke your arm because you tucked it behind your back? You want to go there?
I was retired. I was green again.
Well,
and you know what? You know what? That little bit of information.
That's why I've upgraded. Okay. I'm no longer a talent. I'm the referee now.
Not only Stat Boy improved, but medically proven.
Fair enough. So Daniel, I'll just say no. I wake up, I work, I watch wrestling. It's as simple as that.
Oh God! And for the record, as far as video games, the Batman Arkham series is one of the best video game series I've ever seen in my life. That shit is so good.
Oh yeah.
So in addition to all that, of course, got the Warzone. Last week for WrestleMania Sunday, it was a Steelbook spectacular. Nothing but Steelbooks on the show. This week, tomorrow, it's just a hodgepodge. A little bit of stuff from Dollar General, a little bit of stuff from Big Lots, a little bit of stuff from Goodwill. you know, movie from Winco.
Oh, there you go.
Just a random hodgepodge of shit.
Wincos, they do exist.
Mm-hmm.
I got boonies.
That's right.
That's right.
Now we'll throw over to the stuff that Jeff can shill. And like I said, we'll just use the graphics that I have. We'll run in the order I got, and you can talk about what you can talk about.
Before you throw the first one up, did you happen to download the picture I sent you?
I did. It's towards the back.
Oh, I was going to say go and do that one first since Mikey brought it up. I want to make sure I get it in there before we...
All right, let me scroll down my window. Here we go.
Just from here now, damn it. There we go. There's Dad. There he is at the hockey game. There he is. Watching his Kings lose because, they have last Stanley Cup champions is what it is. Can't do much about that. For the record, Mikey.
No, I think you should watch a playoff game this when the playoffs start. Just watch one.
Well, 7 teams in the West are now for sure. And the 8th spot, the second wild card's down to Winnipeg, Calgary. Even Nashville's still fighting for it. So, don't sell Smashville short just yet. They're getting there. They're 88 points going into the last week. So we shall see how it goes.
No, if you're going to watch a playoff game, wait till the Stanley Cup finals actually begin. Watching the Stanley Cup playoffs is watching April baseball.
No.
Wait until you get to the finals. That's when it's crunch time. That's when balls are to the wall and we're all off to the races.
I don't know, man. Even as a Kings fan first, NHL fan second, I love watching the playoff games, man, because people are just
For people like us, that's one thing. But for somebody that you're trying to get to watch just one game, then let them wait until the championship is involved.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's get into the oh Lord. Okay, I don't even know if the review is back on Sunday this week because we've been having it so out of place. But if it is, it'll be there tomorrow. I volunteered to be on since my ass is stuck at home. Aaron will have recaps of Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown this week, of course, over on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel, where you can find those recaps as well as the simulcast of Talk Wrestling when I'm home on Tuesdays, which again will happen this week.
And it's not like no DQ really needs our shows for them.
No.
But Aaron has been really good to me as of late, allowing me that content for Throwback Thursday. So we got to throw a little bit of love back his way.
Yes, and because my various appointments have been canceled, I will be there for Tuesday for not only this show, which is, of course, every Tuesday night after NXT, but I will be there to help produce Stat Boy Sports Bar. So there is that, or direct it, whatever you want to call that word. But yes, Talk Wrestling, the 15-year standard bearer, as James talks about in our signature. This is where that network evolved from. So check it out on Tuesday. Hopefully it won't be too bad shit compared to this week's news. So we'll see how things go in the next few days. Of course, the frontline flashback. I am working on the opening episode of that, which goes all the way back to 1984. But I also have a little trailer I'm putting together talking about what we're going to talk about, because it's not just the Monday Night Wars involved in this, but that'll be Monday, May 1st in the Talk Wrestling Tuesday time slot. But it'll be a Monday night because it's the Monday Night Wars, so it should be on Mondays. This is just part of what's coming up. We've got so many more booked now than we did, but man,
it's just the updated graphic that I have from you.
Yeah, I know, that's fine. Again, the watch-alongs, like I said when we came out of commercial, man, 30-some, I think it's like 36 watch-alongs this year between what's been done and what is to come. I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of everybody involved. For the record, we are covering Double or Nothing, not is it Battleground?
Yeah.
That was a decision I made based on Noah's reaction to both being announced. It was like he's going to be passionate about AEW's Double, because it is their WrestleMania, it is their show of the year, and I'd rather focus on that. If NXT turns out to be halfway as good as it could be, we may do a retro watch along, or go back and watch it later, like we did with the Dynamite that was here in January at the Forum, and have them call it after the fact. Yeah. But kind of one of those, maybe not. So that'll be coming up when we get to late May. JJ and I have in the can for this last Monday, the top 10 ECW World Champions. One of my favorite episodes we did, mainly because we got our shit in an hour and a half, which was tremendous for a show like this. So proud of our damn selves for that. Our next episode of Dads, we are finally back on Fridays, much to JJ's delight. Top 10 TV villains, another short, under an hour and a half. Again, proud of that. But we talked about it in the opening of the show. This was harder than it should have been.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Jeff and I watch sitcoms more than we like dramas.
Right.
And as much as we love sitcoms, it's like you might find a villain on a sitcom for a 1 or 2 episode arc.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But there's no long-term villains over sitcoms.
No,
just a disgruntled neighbor that you'll see a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so funny you say that, but I'll go ahead, James. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, for those that remember Family Matters, like the dude that Waldo used to hang out with before he became Eddie's best friend.
Oh yeah,
kind of like a villain.
Yeah,
but he only lasted a few episodes.
Yeah,
Jesse's brother on Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
this is a couple episode villain. You just wasn't even really villain, just a counter to Zach.
Much more of an antagonist than
a villain. You could say that Will's father on Fresh Prince was the villain.
But for real though,
because you think about how he came back in his life just to ditch his ass again. And that incredibly emotional scene from Will, why doesn't he want me, man?
And it made for a moment in television, but it was one time.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, it was a lot harder
Yeah.
than both of us really imagined it would be. Like, spoiler alert, I had to go back into some cartoons to find some villains,
That was cartoons. I mean, you got My Morphin Power Rangers, you got TMNT, you got Inspector Gadget, just to name a few from my childhood when I used to watch cartoons.
And all those things either get represented or honorable mentioned.
There you go.
I am hoping, I know there is one villain that you met that will be on your list.
Who?
Stefano Demera.
Well,
there is no Days of Our Lives on our list.
Nope. Neither one of us. Nope.
Are you kidding me? He's not. Oh my god!
Honestly,
Daniel gets me. Daniel gets me. Yep, Megatron, Transformers.
Hell yes.
Honestly, bro, I
completely
spaced about him.
So did I. God, as much as I watch YNR, I talk about it with my grandparents. Not a one from the world of soap operas, believe it or not.
Wow.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Okay, not entirely true. That's fair. That's fair. And we'll leave you guys to watch Friday to figure out what we're talking about when we say that. Because there was
I completely forgot about Stefano. If I had thought about it, I totally would have had him on there because he's a good heel.
Stefano, evil sumbitch. He's so evil they resurrected him in somebody else's body. Like, damn. That's straight up evil dog right there. But yeah,
Eric Braden, Young and the Restless. He was a villain.
It was a lot harder. Like I said, I had to dive into cartoons, and like if I had just done cartoons, that would have been so easy. But like I didn't want to take the cheap way out.
Yeah,
I wanted to try to come up with live action villains.
Yes,
to my recollection, Jeff did not use any animated.
I did
I
not.
only used 2 on my list.
Yeah.
I tried to make sure that I didn't dive deep down the cartoon rabbit hole because I felt like that would be cheap.
Fair.
Plus,
I did represent 2 cartoon villains, and without saying what it is, one should be completely obvious to Statboy if he really thinks about it.
Don't say it out loud if you do, but yeah, it's
You're already thinking way too long, Mikey.
I wonder if they were blasting off again. Oh wow, look at that in the chat. Ding 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 ding.
Oh.
Well, thank you. There we go. We'll take it.
How about that?
Yes, Emmanuel with a $20 super chat.
Yes.
Read when it's the right time. WrestleMania night 1, best night. 2 is a disappointment, and Raw After Mania is RIP. Imagine
Ooh.
if Stone Cold Steve Austin lost to the Authority type of bad endings.
When he won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, when he won the Rumble.
Yeah, he couldn't finish.
Wow.
Damn. Hot take. Hot take.
That's a hot take, and we don't want to discourage anybody's opinions. Everybody's entitled their opinions, and we love Emmanuel and the support that him and Arlene have given us over the past year and a half, but especially here over the last month.
Right.
I mean, the support that they have shown our way, half-ass enabled them to both be on our prediction panels over the week going into Mania.
And got a hell of a
Manual on Simply Predicting, which you hosted, Noah, and then Arlene on the Ladies of the Multiverse panel, which again you hosted.
Probably my favorite show of the week during WrestleMania week. Ladies panel, man, it was fun, and I wasn't even involved on air for it. It was just fun to produce.
I will say
and congrats to Joy Lou winning the first Ladies of the Multiverse panel. She won by 1 point.
She did. She did.
So I will say this to Emmanuel, and I kind of echo the sentiments. I believe you said it on Talk Wrestling the other night, Jeff. Night 2, I don't think was as bad as people make it out to be.
No, it was.
I mean, I could have done without the women's showcase. I definitely felt that was the weakest point on the card.
Yep, I agree with that.
It
was still bloody obvious.
Yeah, it really was. And but I mean the opener of Brock and Omos wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was going to be.
Not by a mile.
The fact that Omos gut wrenched and just kind of flung Brock around like a rag doll at the start of the match.
Right.
I think that did so much for Omos.
Yep.
Going down the road here.
Yeah.
I figured
it definitely showed that Omos is not the person to take lightly. If he can do that to somebody the specimen of a Brock Lesnar,
right,
then watch out.
We'll see if WWE actually follows up on that. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, him taking the L doesn't defeat his career. It's because it's Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Like, no shit. So it was, but yeah, he flung Lesnar so far. I thought Lesnar was going to land in the middle of Staples Center and go, "Oh God, trauma moment."
Ding, ding, ding.
And Emmanuel did again.
Can't leave before supporting both channels tonight until tomorrow.
Do we still have the image of he and his sister and I from the Undertaker line queued up anywhere?
I don't have that. No.
Okay, that's all right. I will throw that out there again for them this week. But again, thank you both. You guys are awesome. It was wonderful to see you. Glad the pictures turned out okay, considering how much of a clusterfuck the line was going in.
Right.
It was a mess. Once they got us snaked and properly moving, it was awesome. But man, the crowd control was so bad. And the three of us in this little over here have been in the LA Convention Center. It was like it could have been done better a million different ways. It was just a train wreck. Anyway,
like I was saying though,
night 2 was so much.
The IC title match was clearly match of the night.
That's the only damn match I needed that night. God, that was so good.
Finn and Edge was awesome.
Yes. Yes. Watching it back, tremendous.
And it with a concerto, just the way it started.
Yep.
The Miz and Snoop thing was a good little filler comedy thing that resulted in Shane tearing his quad.
Yeah.
But
better if Shane hadn't gotten hurt and they actually could have done something, because when Shane goes, he can go. So it just he's got them McMannequin jeans. It is what it is.
Bianca,
walking at work. No.
Yeah.
Bianca and Asuka, Kana. I know the result didn't go the way Noah wanted, but I still think it was a hell of a representation.
Yeah.
I think Bianca's on her way to being the female Undertaker at WrestleMania, and definitely with that entrance, very female John Cena, as I've said for a long time.
Divas of Compton. Yeah.
You figure Cena had the Make-A-Wish kids out there with him, and Bianca had the Divas of Compton. The writing isn't more on the wall for me, like seriously.
Yeah, and I will say this. I think the placement of Bianca and Asuka can be scrutinized. And I say because they had to follow Charlotte and Rhea from the first night. That was just a dead spot. There was no way.
Yep.
You have Charlotte and Rhea semi-main night 2 and have both Rumble winners on night 2, which was discussed here previously. Charlotte Rhea having the match they did before Cody and Roman on the same night probably would have softened the blow about Cody losing a lot more.
Probably.
But again, hindsight is a benefit. It's a burden and a blessing because you look back, I didn't disenjoy any of those matches. The women's showcase, I knew what I was getting out of my money's worth. I knew what it was going to be. So I wasn't surprised. And you see the fact that Ronda was hurt. Oh, she didn't do anything. She's got a busted arm, people. She was going to win the match anyway. And now they've got a story to tell because they've got Raquel and Liv challenging on Monday. And Ronda and Shayna can go, hey, we won the showcase. What the shit? So their story, again, let the shit breathe and play out for the love of God.
Yes.
Amen.
It still doesn't change the fact that WWE Women's Championships is nothing but props that hot potato faster than the 21st Century title did back in its heyday.
And even if Gunther doesn't get to 1,000 from that last comment.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's going to get to 1,000, but I do think he will dethrone the Honky Tonk.
He's going to dethrone the Honky Tonk Man. He should, damn it.
He's got to get to September to break the Honkometer, which doesn't look as unlikely now that he got past Mania.
No. Again, find one single, keyword, single individual on that current main roster that can dethrone the Lean General Walter. I dare you.
Anybody in that mid-card shuffle, for lack of a better term, that is an Intercontinental challenger other than Solo, I don't see it happening.
Yep. The only person I can think of that would legitimately be a threat is still in NXT.
Yep. For now.
For now, JJ. For now.
Mm-hmm.
And either
That boy is lost because he doesn't watch NXT.
No.
But no one knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, say his name because you say it so beautifully.
You really want me to say it?
I do.
Really want me to say it. He is Ba Singh Ba. He is the one that dethroned the Lean General of the NXT UK Championship. His only actual defeat in his WWE career, Ilya Dragunov.
That's right. Although I will say,
Ivan Drago.
either man in the main event of Stand and Deliver, give me one of those guys against Gunther also. Especially the newly minted heel former NXT champion. Just big beefy men slapping meat. I'm all right with that shit too. For real.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I think that Walter would mop the floor with Bronathan Breaker.
Yes, he would.
You know what though? You say that a year ago, I co-sign with you. Now, with the development he's had and the fresh attitude, I'm here for it.
I will give you that just in the amount of time that I've been watching, not Noah's NXT.
Damn it.
I've seen Braun Breaker grow by leaps and bounds. But when you're talking about Walter,
yeah, I know.
I'm just saying.
Well, no, drag off the guy.
Walter is the filet mignon in Roman speech. Braun is the Burger King.
I think that's a little hard on Braun though.
I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Again,
and
try
I
and match somebody.
mean no harshness towards Braun.
Try and match somebody up against the Lean General besides possibly Pete Dunne and possibly Ilya Dragunov, and maybe, just maybe, you actually might make me a believer that somebody can dethrone the Lean General. But besides those two names, currently right now, in the immortal expression of Stone Cold, ain't happening. Emmanuel!
We got another one to your channel,
Oh my
Jeff.
gosh.
Fool me once, Clash of the Castle. Shame on you. Fool me twice, Elimination Chamber. Shame on me. Fool me 3 times, you done effed up.
Again, I don't think Clash of the Castle, I kind of had a belief that maybe Drew would be the guy. They built it up. They played Broken Dreams, which popped every damn one of us. But I still didn't 100% believe it. Sammy, I never believed was going to be the champion. I never really thought he would be the one to defeat Roman. As wonderful as that would have been, I probably would have popped a little more for that, even having not been there. Although, to be fair, the fact that I had any voice in that car after night 1 was a freaking revelation, considering how much I was screaming bloody murder with that title victory for him and Kevin. Even now, I'm getting emotional thinking about it again. Jesus. And they're still wearing the PWG shorts, so please keep doing the things, boys. Jesus.
I just want Mattel to make an Elite Series figure of them with those shorts. I will buy that shit quick.
I will buy a case and give it to everybody. You get a PWG figure. You get a PWG figure. Screw it. I'll be Oprah in this bitch. I don't care. And somewhere Danny's going, yes. You know, whatever. Not think you roll these for it, but you know, they might.
About time, Daniel.
Right? Yeah, I think that whether he gets to the Honkameter or 1,000 days or not, depending on where the world title is at Royal Rumble time, pull that Walther trigger. Absolutely.
Vince, don't fuck this up.
Yeah. But again, we're projecting far ahead.
Yes.
Fair enough.
He is 364 days away.
Yeah.
So
let's try to bring it back to something a little bit more current.
But yeah, we were talking about, you know, the stuff coming up for us. Again, Top 10 TV Villains is coming up Friday night or Friday afternoon if you're watching on the West Coast.
We got a couple weeks for that even because that's the 21st. So we still got like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got a couple. You still got a couple of weeks there.
I'm so ahead of my. We actually booked ahead. Oh, do you have the graphic for the next one laid out? Because we did talk about that. We finally figured out what the hell topic was. If you don't, I can extrapolate really quickly. So May, of course, you know, not too far off. I know we just started April, but May, you know, tends to be a big month in the. Especially in the movie world, because, you know, you get those summer spectaculars.
Of course.
Friday, May 5th, Dad's on Wrestling, a Star Wars story, proudly presents Top 10 Characters in a Galaxy Far, Far Away.
On the Revenge of the 5th.
On the Revenge of the 5th, that's right. Because now, again, I don't have the schedule for that yet, but I did schedule a sign-in for myself for May 4th. So I will be in Galaxy's Edge on May 4th. So I will do what I can to get content recorded and insert into that show, but it depends when we record it also, because we're hoping to get that done soon. Because unless they come up with more characters between now and May 4th, because they announced like 25 shows over the weekend.
Right.
Star Wars front, like, fuck me.
Good Lord Almighty. Talk about
That's
really
so good show.
Talk about really getting all the money from the IP you can. Good
Yeah,
grief.
man.
Hey,
the mouse was busy this week over at Lucasfilm, so God bless him. It's gonna be like I said, the fact that I was able to not only get the authorized days off, but enable to clear enough money where I didn't have to worry about it. That was wonderful. So please support the channel, especially the ones that are monetized. But this guy down here with his 45 creations a week of content, you know, please give Noah some love over at N Foster 1916. He's going to say that during his wonderful spiel at the end. You know, support Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. Tip your bartenders on that show because it's on JJ's channel, so you actually can tip the bartenders on that show now. So there is that. But yeah, just keep it in. You know what? I don't really.
How do you call Frank Burns a villain?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Mr. Burns is a bigger villain than that guy, and he's on a cartoon.
You know, I don't know if Frank so much is a villain. It's kind of like the character as JJ mentioned. Even though Frank wasn't a one-off character, he's just an antagonist, freaking pain in the ass.
Yeah, that wouldn't make him a villain, though.
Well, no, I mean, okay, Frank,
Subject Tiv, Mikey.
Was definitely your current trying to undermine Hawkeye and Trapper throughout his entire run on the show. And especially in the movie and the original novel, Frank Burns was way worse. So I can definitely see where he'd be but if we're talking about TV villains, as this title says, yeah, much more of an antagonist along with Houlihan, but and again, more of a sitcom than anything else. MASH is very much a dramedy in that there was some heavy shit on that show all throughout the 11 seasons of a 4-year war. Anyway,
a 3-hour tour.
Yeah.
How many seasons did that last?
Three.
So to be fair,
I feel like it lasted
Gilligan's
longer.
Island only lasted 3 seasons.
Well, yeah, 3 seasons, but they were on the island for 15 years because they had like 500 reunion movies in the process.
That's true. That's true.
Including the Globetrotters, because why not? Fuck, man. What the hell, Gil? Anyway.
Globetrotter's been on everything else at this point. Why the heck not?
Okay, I have a question, a legit question about that, because I've never seen every episode of Gilligan's Island, as blasphemous as that might be.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people visited Gilligan's Island.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus ever come to Gilligan's Island?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Further proof that Santa's a dick, because you couldn't save them and put some room in their sleigh for you to get them off the island.
That's right.
Goddamn Santa.
That's it. Santa, played by the skipper, Alan
Dear
Hill.
Santa, you are a bitch ass. You can't.
We
put some
referencing the Boondocks, talking about Santa saving Gilligan from the island. It's time to go home, kids.
Yeah.
For the record, the Korean War lasted 1,128 days, which means each episode of the series would have averaged 4.5 days of real time.
There you go.
So there you go.
You guys are putting me to shame.
And that is.
I'm
that boy approved.
there. I got to scroll all the way back up.
That boy approved. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm so confused.
I should autograph those things and just mail them out at $5 a super chat.
There you go.
Hey,
if you want
I got
your
an
very
idea.
own Stat Boy autographed a $5 super chat will do it.
Hell, freaking give
Take those with you to the Heroes
I was
and
gonna
Legends
say.
thing.
Oh
If
yeah,
people come up-
I have plans for that.
That's right. There should be a subtitle for that show. King of the Mountain. Stat Boy takes PWG or whatever. Friday the 13th.
I'm planning on
Heroes and Legends, King of the Mountain, Stat Boy approved.
Yeah, I'll print up the Barkeep one, and Dory and I can sign them in silver Sharpie.
Everything's falling apart.
Everything's making money across the board. So with that being said, JJ is going to reel us in here with his proverbial fishing pole, and we're going to throw to
Noah for his only plug.
Yeah, because I'm simple, thank Christ. Because again, I may not be that social. I'm also not that big of content creation. Brainchild of my social / YouTube content creation existence. Simply Predicting, as happily named by James Hebert. Again, love you, brother. Take care of yourself. But yes, folks, I'm crazy. I'll be doing Simply Predicting panels for all these shows in this order. Impact Wrestling's Rebellion. It's actually literally this Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on my YouTube channel in collaboration with Cat Station Studios. I believe I have James Hebert also on my StreamYard as well. Then we move on from there and go into May, and God help me, the rest of these shows are all in May. WWE Backlash, and in that single weekend, Impact Wrestling Under Siege, WWE King of Queen of the Ring, and NXT Battleground, and of course the mecca of that entire weekend for me, especially AEW Double or Nothing, the 5th go around for the show where it all began for the brand. I cannot fucking wait for that, especially.
There you go. And then, of course, this past week, I don't have a graphic for it, but this past week, me and Noah went live and did a simple take for WrestleMania this past Tuesday. It was nice to be able to sit down and just kind of dissect everything after the fact, once the dust had settled.
Yes.
And we went almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Just talking about what happened at WrestleMania and our takeaways and everything. And, just some simple chit chat. And I told Noah, I don't think it was on the broadcast, but I said it to him off air. I feel like me and Noah on those shows have the same type of seamless flow and rapport that me and you do, Meech, doing dads. Like, you watch the way we bounce off each other and everything, and it just works so good. It just bounces, it flows. It's like we can set each other up and the other one just pick right up and run with it. It's such a good, interesting, fun show that we've started here this past year with all the WWE takeaways.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like I said at WrestleMania last year, like I will continue to say coming out of Mania this year, I am so immeasurably proud of the development of this little multiverse of media over here that's come out of my fifth the standard bearer stuff. Thank you, James.
He did again.
Did what? Oh,
Emmanuel with another super chat, $10
on your channel this time again. So there you go, 30 for each. We appreciate that, Emmanuel. Just for that, AJ, I did send you the picture of he and Arlene and I, so please get that out there because I want to make sure I give him a little love.
Yes. Give me 1 second to save it.
Well, I'll go ahead and read it while you're doing that.
Yeah, read the super chat.
You might sell out, but only one network always makes you feel welcome and cheer up. That is the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse Media. Again, dude, we do acknowledge you and love you and your sister. Again, much appreciated. Not the only fans I got to run into this last weekend, but it was still one of the highlights because it was so cool to be able to not only get the shirt in with a picture with the Undertaker holding an urn, but to have fans of the channel, supporters of the channel be out there and getting the and by the way, your choice of retro shirt is definitely acknowledged welcome on this channel. Tell you what, man. The RKO NWO
I commented on that when I saw the picture the first time, and you weren't there for the after show, the open mic night
part of it. Yeah.
But I definitely acknowledged his OG RKO shirt.
Yes. Yeah. One of the only Randy shirts I wanted to buy back then because I wasn't a Randy fan back then. But I was like, you know what? NWO. You know me and the NWO kids.
You know what, sir? If we ever go and submit and Pro Wrestling Tees actually acknowledges and puts another shirt up on your thing and we get a multiverse of media shirt, I think they need to be given copies of that shirt for everything that they've done for us on the channel.
I actually have thought about making the newest Multiverse of Media shirt in the NWO style face because we got the dad's one that's out there. I like that, JMN and then the Unders type Multiverse of Media.
I like it. Make it happen. Captain Picard, make it so.
I will work on that in my unintentionally induced isolation for the next 5 days.
Yes. But anyways, so that is this week's episode of Open Mic Night.
Yes.
We're still getting out of here almost an hour early, gentlemen. I can't believe it considering the topics that we had this week.
Right.
I had a feeling we were going to go past midnight for us. I thought we were going to be pushing 1 o'clock on our end, Meech, which would have been 4 o'clock on their end.
Yeah.
Just because of the severity and the controversial nature and everything of the topics we were going to discuss. I had a feeling we were going to go a lot deeper than we did. I'm kind of glad that we were able to, Brian Cage it and just kind of get our shit in the simple time that we had.
I think the multiverse realized that, some of us want to celebrate Easter and the way it's supposed to celebrate. Some people want to just have the Easter dinner with their families. So the multiverse kind of went, okay, let's just and make it happen for them.
There you go.
So for everybody, the 8 of you that are still here with us, that stuck through the shills, and especially Emmanuel, thank you again for the super chats to both our channels.
Yeah.
We greatly appreciated, brother.
Yes.
For the West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham, for Stat Boy Mike,
hey.
I am the Renegade JJ Williams. Simple Man, take us out of here.
Always a pleasure to be part of the weekly Saturday night shenanigans that are open mic night to engage, entertain, and of course, conversate with all of you. I thank you too. If you want to know more about me, know this, for I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress. Find me on the Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube if you want to at nfoster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, to my entire ATW family on the Twitter. And again, happy Easter to everybody along the East Coast and the rest of the states as well as time continues to fly by. You all saw what's coming up as far as my super YouTube channel, the brainchild and the focus of it, of course, is City Predicting. And Amanda and Arlene, you're always welcome to be a part of those at any time. Just let me know because I simply predict on all things wrestling, whether it's WWE, NXT, Ring of Honor, AEW, Impact Wrestling, sometimes the JPW too, and knowing where the G1 Climax 33 is finally going to take place. Stay tuned for more on that as well. And that's really I gotta say for now. But again, the next predicting is live Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Impact Wrestling Rebellion, and then we'll of course have the Jeff Meach and Everybody for me at live watching event this literally following Sunday after Easter for that very pay-per-view where we will crown a brand new Impact World Champion and possibly a new Knockouts World Champion and so much more too. Can't wait to cover that. But as always, I'd like to conclude: there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no bettors. There are just fans. Keyword, we're just fans. Not all this other internet terminology that you all came up with for some daggone reason. Once again, break in the English language dictionary. But I digress. Fans with opinions with this passion we all share. Not going to rant on wordplay tonight. But as always, folks, at the end of the day, support one another. Respect each other. Protect your mentality too. Treasure your families. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. And again, happy Easter to everybody. For he has risen. And I can't wait to celebrate it. Not just at church, but with my family.
There you go.
Truly, he has risen.
Like I always say, Noah, I can't say it any better myself. That is why we always let you be the one to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Until next week, Open Mic Night, we will catch you guys later.
Have a good night, folks.
Stat Boy out.
Family is forever.